Hi and welcome to Creator Fundamentals. My name is Dan Currier and it is my mission to simplify YouTube so you and I can grow together. Tonight is the subscriber hangout every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's good to have everybody here. Let's get started. YouTube Simplified. Hello everybody, and real quick, I just want to remind everybody that this live stream is sponsored by TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and the link is in the description below. Gonna hop into the chat, see what's going on there. Good to see so many people here nice and early. I appreciate it. I see British Cook is in the house. Moderator extraordinaire. Don't don't do any self-promotion or any other things that aren't permitted, he'll definitely drop the hammer. So good to see you out there, Drew. Let's see who else we have in the live stream tonight. I see the Geeks of Retro got in here 22 minutes early. Great to see you. Glad to have you. And nice to see everybody get in here ahead of the curve there. We have Lemonhead Penny, Benny and the Jets, Gaming, Sensational Life, a patron. Great to have you. Rocket Scientist, Maxi, is it Nades or Nads? Harley Pebbly, good to see you as well. Science Gal Aquatics, good to see you, another patron. We have Moshu King, Stumped, DJ Scrapping Rooster. Let's see. Car Galaxy Studios, Gaming with Dylan, The Fantastic Joe, The 2-Mark Crew, Schizophrenic Screwdriver. Great to see everybody here. I see some new names and people that are here for every stream. Awesome to hang out with you guys tonight. Legend TV is out there as well. Ad Guy 1, Clash Royale Funny Moments. Quite the title. Scramuel. Michael Unleashed. Josie Potts. Make sure I get everybody. Richard Plus Films. Carol Nate W. Mandy NRG. Good to see you. Richin in the USA. Hello to you as well. Douglas Bartlebaugh. My apologies if I mess any of these up, but want to make sure I get everybody in. And we have Deborah Giro. Let's see. Zingcat also in the live stream. Good to see you. And make sure we don't miss anybody. I Just Game also in the live stream. Beanie Draws is in the house. Nice to see you, Beanie. Android Boy Hacks for you. All right. Yeah, the chat can move fast sometimes. So hey, starting off, this live stream is all about you guys. I have something to announce, something that a small change that I wanted to make, but hopefully you guys will appreciate it. I see Bubba C Vision also in the live stream, Angie's Random Vids. So the big change that I wanted to make, recently I've been showing priority on the live streams due to time constraints to people that were interested in doing super chat donations. What I want to change is I'm no longer going to be doing that. When the time comes to do the channel reviews, they're going to be completely free, completely random, and in no way tied to super chat. That said, we absolutely appreciate the super chat here on Creative Fundamentals. It does help the channel. If you find that Creative Fundamentals has offered you or provided you value and helped you grow your channel, we definitely appreciate the super chats whenever you would like to make them and help the channel grow. But as far as the channel review goes, I'm no longer going to prioritize those who give the super chats, because I want to make sure everybody has a fair shot to be able to bring up your channel, get a little exposure, and get some feedback on what you need to do to grow. So hopefully people like that. I know there's a lot of people who come to all the live streams that may not have gotten a channel review, and you know, I want to give everybody a good opportunity to actually get that. Now, that said, I do recommend, if you want a channel review and you're just starting out on YouTube, there are some things that you should do before you request a channel review. For one, you should already be doing custom thumbnails. Whether they're good or not, or you're working on them, is one thing, but you definitely want to be using custom thumbnails. You want to have made an attempt at doing channel art, and you want to follow some of the best practices that are out there, the best that you can, before you actually request the channel review. The way that I like to say that is basically watch some videos, learn some of the best practices, try to implement them, and then ask for a channel review to see how you did and where you can improve. That's the best path, I think, to actually growing your channel and being successful here on YouTube. So here, I see a lot of people that are asking for the channel reviews right now. What I'm going to do at a certain point, hopefully, let's see who we got. We have, because the admins might need to help me here. Right now, I think it's British Cook is in here. I don't know if Doug Houston's going to join us tonight, but either way, at some point later in the live stream, I'm going to announce that I'm starting channel reviews. At that time, you need to reply that you would like a channel review with your channel name in your comment. So that's how it's going to work at the time that I announce it. So be ready for that. Hang out in the live stream for a little while before that happens, and then we'll get to those, and then we'll try to get in as many as possible. Okay? And between now and then, if anybody has any specific questions related to your channel that you're trying to figure out, definitely post the question in the live chat. If you can throw a couple question marks before and after your question, it'll make it a little bit easier to see, or just tag me, tag Creator Fundamentals in the question when you ask it, so I'll be able to pull them out of the live stream, or out of the live chat. And I'm just going to scroll back here. Looks like we're up over 52. Great to see everybody here in the live stream tonight. It's always great to have a big crowd, and the bigger the crowd, it just makes it a lot more interesting and helps the conversation flow. I'm going to scroll back a little bit and make sure I didn't miss any actual questions. I see, scrolling back to where people started asking for channel reviews. That gives me a sense of where the comments happened in the live stream here. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Hello. Beanie Jaws just got a Creator Insider ad on this stream. Nice. Good to see. I didn't know Creator Insider was doing advertisements. I actually have one of my videos is suggested on one of their videos that I get a lot of traffic from them. Currently using TubeBuddy, loving it. Awesome. Yeah, I use TubeBuddy every day. Couldn't do without it. So educational, 2Mark Crew. That is the goal, to be educational and share the stuff that I have personally used and found to be effective. I'll get as soon as I get notification. Yeah, I feel like the notifications have been a little off this past week. The views in general on the I released 3 videos in 3 consecutive days earlier this week to kind of give the channel a little bit of a bump, but consistently the views on them were down from what they've normally been, and I don't know if that's a notification issue or, you know, some change in the way my channel's being promoted out. But hey, we see Kevin Boston 7 out there. Hello to you too. Doggo and Sunsets, hey. Scramuel, hello brother. All right, Harley says, does Drew use the hammer or the chef knife? For those who don't know, obviously by his name, British Cook. Drew is the one who runs the British Cook channel, and you should definitely check him out. It'll make you hungry. He makes some good British cooking. Let's see where we're at here. British Cook, he says he uses both the chef knife and the hammer, so be extra careful on the no-nos in the live chat. Scramule says, I'm a brand new baby. We got some thumbs up out there. Legend TV. Trying to catch up here and make sure I don't miss anybody. For those of you who've been to a previous live stream, know the constant struggle it is trying to scroll through live chat after the fact because it likes to jump around. Let's see. Hope my channel will be reviewed. We'll get to that in a little while. A lot of people asking for channel reviews. I got to get TubeBuddy. Definitely, for those of you who don't have TubeBuddy, I'll throw a link in the chat. But also there's a link in the description. It's free to download. You can check it out. You can get a sense of what it is and how it works. In the, you know, after you get that sense, if there's some additional features you want to unlock, you can get one of the paid tiers. And you can use promo code DansBuddy to get 20% off the paid tiers. And they have special things, like if you're a really small channel under so many views, they give you the option to click. They give you like little boxes that you check, and it discounts it. It ends up being like $2 or $3 or $4 a month or something like that with some of those discounts. So if you are a small channel, they do go out of their way to help the small channels grow. Non-P Fiction, hello to you too. Scrolling. Gave me what Dylan says, oh my gosh, this is nerve-wracking. I don't know if that's the chat or what it is, but kind of moving along briskly. We're at about 50 people in there. Rich in the USA, nice touch with the fairness. Yeah, I wanted to give, I mean, it's kind of become the trend on these types of channels to do the prioritizing on Super Chat. You know, and it's not wrong. You know, obviously you can't get to everybody, and the Super Chat does help grow the channels, but I wanted to, I kind of wanted to get back to that and not be like all those other channels, and give people the opportunity to get those channel reviews. I know I certainly had some channel reviews when I was first starting out that I didn't have to pay for or get prioritized for. I also donated and got some channel reviews based on making donations, but I wanted to make sure everybody had that opportunity. And, you know, just, I just think it's fairer that way. So we're going to give it a try and see how that works. Doesn't mean you can't still donate the Super Chats. I will appreciate them. I'm just not going to tie them to the actual channel reviews. So Max M. Trigger says, what exactly is a channel review? So a channel review is where I bring your channel here up on the stream, go over the best practices while I look at your channel. Basically, whether you're conveying a message, a unified message with your branding, with your channel art and your thumbnails, whether you're using best practices when it comes to, you know, playlists and laying out your channel and your about section, and try to give you a high-level view at some of the kind of things that you should probably be researching to help your channel grow. Scrolling. I hear a lot of people asking for reviews, so I'm sure when we announce that later on in the stream, we'll have plenty of channels to take a look at. Yeah. A lot of people asking. Ad guy says, where's Doug Houston? I don't know where Doug is tonight. Maybe he had a prior engagement. Scrolling. I see Dilly Dally Kids. Hey Dan, we had a new video blow up with more views than we normally get. What should we do to keep up the views on newer videos? Well, I guess it all depends on why that particular video blew up. Was it about a given topic? Was it something related to trending? Or I guess trying to understand exactly what that video is kind of gives you an idea to do that. The one thing that I would suggest is, while you have that heightened attention, to get out some related content. There's no guarantee that the related content is going to be as successful as that last one, but that spike can certainly help the next few videos gain some momentum. For those of you who are aware, I had a video that is now up to 110,000, and it spiked the channel for quite a bit. It's finally starting to come down now. For a while there, it was like over 100 subscribers a day that I was gaining. It was pretty crazy, and that has decreased now. It's probably more like 50 a day, or anywhere in that range, and it kind of fluctuates. But definitely try to get some related content out while you're at that high point, and see what you can do in terms of views on those. But I think if there is any understanding of what made that particular video special, because I know Dilly Dally Kids is a vlog, that might help you understand exactly how to follow that video up with maybe similar content if you touched on a particular concept above and beyond the vlog, to know where to go with that. Legend TV, I'm just over 700 subs. I appreciate that, Legend. XX NATO, is it odd to get views and no likes? So one of the things that I have found is, depending if you do like how-to content, I've certainly seen, or I have my other channel, The Average Dan, is a how-to channel, or it's been historically a how-to channel. I'm trying to start to develop that into a more community-based channel. But you do tend to see, when those how-to videos start to get picked up in search and people are trying to fix something or do something related to the how-to, you do tend to see a lot more views than engagement. So you may get, 10, 20, 30,000 views, but not as many likes as you might expect when compared to videos that are being watched by all of your subscribers. So you certainly can get certainly that type of content is I would say more prone to having a lot of views or a disproportionate amount of views compared to your likes. And the other thing you can check is what your actual average view duration is on that video to make sure people aren't starting to watch it and then bailing, either if they feel that there's a disconnect between your thumbnail and your title and what the content is. But if you're getting good watch time on them, that's certainly something that that can happen. All right, Rodney B. Hunt in the live stream. Good to see you. The 10 things. Dan, what helps get videos into suggested? I get traffic from everything except suggested. Tried a few techniques this week. I left it alone to see what happens. So I think the most effective thing in getting videos into suggested is view velocity, which is the rate at which a video gains views right when it's released, in the first 24 hours that it's released. When a video starts to receive above average view velocity, which is typically, so here's a scenario. You create a video that really connects with people and all your subscribers watch it, and then they share it with people, and then everybody that they shared it with watches it, and then they share it. That process by which you're getting a much larger group of people watching your video in a shorter amount of time is kind of a flag to YouTube that this is a video that may be a wider audience may be interested in. So then they start to suggest that video, and based on the response that video gets through your, you know, obviously your thumbnail and your title are what's going to cause those additional people to click on it once it gets suggested. You know, the better it does, the kind of the further out they extend that suggested video, and that's what causes your videos to grow at a rapid pace. Oh, we got some impatient people in the live stream. Lady DeWinter, hello to you too. Zingcat, I have one video, a spaghetti sauce recipe from a few years ago that keeps gaining momentum, over 100K views now. How can I take advantage of a popular but older video? I guess it would depend on your definition of take advantage. One of the things you can do if you have newer content that's related, you can use the pin comment trick. So if you have another recipe or something that's related to that, you can actually take a link to a different video and share it as a comment on the popular one, and then pin it to the top, and with a little message that says, hey, if you like this video, go check out my, you know, whatever it is, you know, chicken parm recipe or whatever you make content about. So that's one way that you can do it if you're trying to extend the popularity of that one video to something else. You can also do that in the cards and the end screens that you add on that popular video. Rodney B. Hunt says the click-through rate should help with suggested videos. I think that is a high percentage of the algo to get you, as well as the view velocity and retention. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see exactly how the whole click-through. I mean, I wish I knew exactly when that was going to make it to us, to really try to see how that all plays out. But so Rodney B. Hunt is talking about the new metrics that are coming out that are going to give us a click-through rate, which basically is going to show, in addition to not only views, you're going to see impressions, which is the number of time your thumbnail appeared on a page on YouTube, aka YouTube promoting you in whatever way that is, whether it's the homepage or on, you know, basically anywhere that they display that. I think there's some screens that it's not going to include, but in any event, that's going to show you total impressions, and then you're going to see a click-through rate on your impressions, which basically says I had 100 impressions and people clicked on the video 3 times. So you would have your, your 3% click-through rate on the video to give a better understanding of exactly how successful or not successful you are at taking advantage of that traffic. I expect that those click-through percentages to be really low to begin with when you think about it, because every time that your thumbnail appears, you're not just on that page alone. So you could appear on a screen with, 40 other videos and they can't click on all of them. So all the ones that didn't get clicked on are going to get an impression without a positive click-through. So Zincat donated $2 through Super Chat. Thank you so much, Zincat. I appreciate it. But yeah, Rodney, it'll be super cool when we get access to that stuff and actually get to play around with it. Make sure I didn't miss anybody here. I mean, and that's the other thing. So, I mean, suggested tends to be something that I think it's a little bit harder to get into suggested when you're first starting. And I think because your view velocity plays a role in that, it's hard to get that really big response on a video early on, which lends itself to the idea that view velocity is a key factor in getting suggested. Because the bigger your channel is, the bigger your audience grows, the more opportunities it seems to be that your videos make it into suggested. And you'll see as you continue to grow that the percentage of suggested traffic on your videos tends to grow as well. Obviously, you have those outliers which really take off, but it'll be cool to see once we get the click-through rate stuff to really start to analyze that data and see what it all tells, what it tells us. Kevin Boston says, all that is easier said than done. It's all easier said than done. Sean Springaw, how are you doing, man? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you on the stream. Hope all is well in your world. There's Doug. Doug Houston is in the chat as well. Scrolling to catch up with everybody here. Oh, that guy's going. Bye-bye. Destructo World. So long. I beat the admins on that one. All right, Gaming with Dylan, good to see you. The review will be up, or the replay will be up in the morning, so we'll take a look here. Heather Verona Aquatics, good to see you as well. Low Budget Gaming, hello to you too. Oh, well, we got stuff going on. We got timeouts and everything else there. All right. That guy got hit from all sides. All right. Omo George, also on the live stream. Good to see you as well. Wombat says, I'm not a big fan of how this thing scrolls, but... All right, so we'll do one last call for questions, and then we'll start to do some channel reviews. Why wait? Let's get some, we can get some channel reviews in the mix as well. Let's see. I gotta have... All right. Kevin Boston, the problem with that is you got to compete with people who get thousands of views and have millions or thousands of subscribers. Kevin, the reality is no, you don't want to compete with the people who have millions of or thousands of subscribers. You don't need to compete with them to grow your channel. You want to do the exact opposite, is you want to find a way to target an audience without competing with people who have millions or thousands of subscribers, because you can't win that fight. you're not going to be able to rank a video above somebody who has millions of subscribers. But you can find some of the lower hanging fruit. And one of the ways that I do it, in like the keyword phrases that I choose when I make a video, I try to slice out a piece of that pie that I can actually compete with. So let's see if we can find, just want to see something here as an example. So we know that, let's see, so how to, I'm just going to pull up something real quick. Let's see, so if we go and we take a look, so if I just type in, let's see, how to grow a YouTube channel, let's see what kind of traffic that has. So there's a lot of competition there, and you're looking at channels like Think Media, Sean Cannell, and Tim Schmoyer at Video Creators, and look, you have some really big, Roberto Blake, to try to compete with those channels can be difficult, especially for the more direct phrases. So if I wanted to get traffic without having to directly compete with them, then I'm going to try to find a keyword phrase that they're not directly targeting. So like you can see here, how to grow your YouTube channel fast in 2018. That used to be one. That was one that, how to grow a YouTube channel fast. That was previously something that I targeted before everybody else did. So I was at the top of this list for a while, and then all the big channels started to get in there. And then you got Nick Nimmin and Brian G. Johnson, and all kinds of competition got in there, and it pushed some of my videos down. This was back before the channel grew, farther down that list. So what you want to try to do is, in this case, I honestly knew this was going to be a very competitive term in this niche. So I got videos out and I got traffic on it before everybody else did. I think I started in like October. And I was able to use that phrase before everybody else jumped on it to help grow my channel. And that's what you have to do. You have to find phrases that you can compete with. Let's see, how to grow a YouTube channel if it's just fast, see what the traffic looks like. So look at that, it's 54 million results, a bunch of big names at the top. So I would never try to compete here. You know, how to get more subscribers on YouTube. Some of these things, these really common phrases, are the things that all the big channels are going to focus on. So your goal is to try to find the subset of those. So like in this case, this is the popular phrase. So if you come in here and you hit space like you're going to type another word, then you start to see the other phrases that people are searching for. And then you want to try to find something that you can actually compete with. And you see that we're still at 9 million. That's still pretty rough. So we hit space and see what else we have. I don't know. We'll see what hack looks like. We're still up over 1 million. And that's pretty much the end of that tail. The other thing you can do is get, if we do like get more subscribers, if you jump in front, you hit underscore and space, it'll show you what kind of stuff people are putting in the front of it, which in this case it's all how to, so it becomes kind of irrelevant, but we can do get more subscribers in a short amount of time. That's a much smaller, but still might be hard for a smaller channel. So like recent videos that I've done. And again, this is when we talk about keyword research. This is the kind of stuff that you play with. So how to make money on YouTube a lot of results. And maybe we want to figure out for everybody who has been demonetized, how do you make money on YouTube without AdSense? This was a keyword phrase that I targeted that had a much smaller audience. It was something people searched for, but it was something that was easier for me to get my foot in the door and actually get traffic. So now when people are, you know, faced with the issue of being demonetized and not making any money, and they come and they search for how to make money without AdSense, my video shows up here because I picked a keyword phrase that didn't have millions of results that I could actually rank for, and being at the top of this list or being on the first page of those search results helps me start to accumulate views. I mean, you look, so I'm surrounded by a verified channel that has 22,000 views on the video. The one below me is a verified channel with 20,000 views. So to a certain degree, you can compete if you focus on the right keyword phrase. And that's the whole idea behind the keyword research, is trying to find a keyword phrase that people are actually searching for, but it's not so heavily competed for by bigger channels bigger than you. So Bubsy Vision, Dan, each week I search here for something new to work on to grow my channel. Last week, TubeBuddy. This week, grow my channel. Lady to Winter said, I try to find words that change that, but still mean the same thing. Oh, so let's see what happens. And so when we look at British Cook, let's see what this looks like. You know, so this is good too, because, and this is a great, so one of the things that I've shared with people in making videos, especially when selecting your channel name, is the idea of trying to select a channel that a channel name that's unique, or that you don't have, that a bunch of other people aren't using. I think when British Cook when Drew first started doing his videos, this isn't how the search unfolded. You actually had to search for the channel. So it was a bit of a challenge in that regard, but he has had great success with his channel, and it is now growing quite well. And because he has become an active channel that is growing well and has basically gotten bigger than other channels that may have come up for that result, it has pushed his channel to the top of the list. And not only that, but he's ranking his playlists, his individual videos. This looks like a live stream he did. But you see a lot of his videos that are popping up on the first page of British Cook, and that's those are the effects, and that's what helps your channel start to grow, is when you identify yourself as a given brand. In this case, the British Cook, and it becomes that much easier for your traffic to find you, for people to share it. Oh yeah, I was watching this video, I think it was called the British Cook. And the last thing you want to do is have a name where somebody has attempted to share your channel by word of mouth, and either you have a name that's like weirdly spelled that people can't figure out how to spell to do the search, or they type in, or it's something like, Bob Smith, and there's like 4,000 of them when somebody does the search, and you can't figure out which channel it is. One of the things that I run into when I'm doing channel reviews, if I try to jump over on a different screen and actually type in somebody's name, and there's like 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 different versions of that channel. So it's definitely something to consider when you're trying to grow your channel, that your channel is a brand. You want people to be able to share it easily with other people who might be interested in your content. And the more successful you are at doing all that, the more your channel, the greater possibility it's going to have to grow, because you're not creating unnecessary roadblocks for people to find your content and watch it and share it. All right. see. Branding, branding, branding. Absolutely. And that's one of the things I try to touch on when I do channel reviews is, you know, whether your channel is just starting out, if you have a dream or the desire to turn your channel into an actual business, or, you know, allow it to support itself or eventually support you, then you want to kind of think of things like branding and the overall message that your channel delivers. It's never too early to consider that stuff, because you want it to be in place for when you do get that success. Like Dilly Dilly Kids was saying, they had a video that took off more so than everything else. You don't want to wait until after that happens to get your stuff together. You want to, and I think one of the reasons that when my video about the new requirements from YouTube was such a great growth spurt on the channel was the fact that my channel was already prepared for it. I had branding that was all in sync. I had over 100 videos that were ready to go for people who wanted to consume my content. And I gained thousands and thousands of subscribers since January. They say that success is where preparation meets opportunity. And when your opportunity arises, you want to make sure that you're ready to go. You have everything in place, and then it doesn't catch you by surprise. All right. All right there. Catching up here. Oh, it popped down again. Funny. Okay. I think that's good. Somebody got timed out. Some Clash of Clans requests out there. I know I saw a couple different channels that were related to Clash of Clans. Almost, oh, I saw a tag and it just shot me past it because go Pappy Go, bite-sized tips. Oh, King Miami 15 says, what is better, TubeBuddy or VidQ? Have I mentioned that this live stream is sponsored by TubeBuddy, the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel? It is available to download for free, and like always, the link is in the description below, and it is also in the chat. I have always, even before TubeBuddy sponsored my videos, and actually, one of the reasons that I ended up doing the sponsorship with TubeBuddy is because they were the ones that I was using. I have nothing against vidIQ, but given the two of them, I had both of them installed when I first started, and I just, my personal preference was TubeBuddy, and, you know, obviously I developed a relationship with TubeBuddy over time, and they've been really good to me, and it's something that I actually use with all my videos. Because one of the things that I never want to do on this channel or any of my channels is promote something that I don't believe in, because I just think you're kind of setting yourself up for failure when you do that. But before the sponsorship opportunity came along, I literally used it on every video, so it was a very natural, a natural relationship. Heather Verona Aquatics, I ordered lights, a microphone, and better tripod. They arrived tonight. Oh, it's always fun when new equipment arrives. For me, it's getting a new Amazon box. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, good night again. Creator Fundamentals, 3:30 a.m. here in Belgium. Well, thank you for hanging out for a little while. Definitely get some rest. Katrina Renee says, I use both TubeBuddy and VidQ. A lot of people do. The reason that I stopped using them both together is because certain times they kind of, sometimes I don't know whether it's like a browser glitch or whatever, but they compete for like the same space. So sometimes they appear on top of each other, and that just started to bug me. So I uninstalled VidQ. The one thing I do like about VidQ are the highlighted counts at the top of the screen. That was probably my favorite part of vidIQ. I know I saw a question in here. I want to see, do you have a video how to use TubeBuddy? I didn't know how. I have a video. I do have a video on the channel about I think TubeBuddy basics, and how I know there's definitely a video on how to do keyword research with TubeBuddy, and there's also a video on how to make thumbnails with TubeBuddy. I'm trying to think of if I've just done a general overview of TubeBuddy. I may have done a high level on that, but that's definitely a good idea now that, I mean, TubeBuddy has made a lot of changes, so maybe I'll put out a video with some of the cool features that you can do with TubeBuddy. So Square One BTS, it looks like a question. Any quick time management tips? I want to make more videos, but I never seem to have time. You seem to put out a lot of videos. What is your secret? So when I first started making videos, the process was horribly slow and editing took a long time. What I have found, a couple things. So now the way I used to record videos is I would have like bullet points. I would develop bullet points. I just got an alert. Casual unboxing, $10 super chat. Awesome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You are awesome. But as I was saying, Zealous just subscribed. It's a sound effects kind of few minutes here. In any event, so the way I do videos, I don't make a script, but I do bullet points, or I become familiar with bullet points before I make my video. Then I used to record a bullet. I would start the camera, record the bullet point, stop the camera, start the camera, record a bullet point, stop the camera. One of the things that's been a real big time saver, and basically what would happen is when I was done making my video, I'd have like 8 video clips that I had to move over and transfer, or, you know, transfer to my computer and do the editing that way and make sure I got all the right videos and moved everything over. Now what I do is I just push record, and I record straight through until I'm done with all the pauses and all the corrections. And then when I go to transfer that into my editing software, it's just one video. So I transfer the video over there. You know, obviously you can see your audio display. I use Premiere Pro, so it shows you your video level and then your audio, so you can kind of see where you speak or where you stop speaking. I use that as my guide, and then I chop out all the you know, the blank spaces or the dead spots between each one of my thoughts, and I also trim out the ones where I messed up or didn't like it, and then I will fine tune the cuts so they don't look too abrupt the best I can. If I have one that I can't, that isn't a good cut, I'll actually, instead of just doing a jump cut, I'll actually try to throw in something like a, you know, a page turn animation or something like that to make it cleaner. But in terms of a time saver, doing that single record and not feeling like I had to stop the camera every time I screwed up was a huge time saver for me, because it's a single file. You transfer it over, you chop it up, you cut out the pieces you don't want, everything's there, and you're good to go. The other thing I did, obviously, is I mean, if you've seen my videos, with Premiere Pro, it's cool because you can kind of create a template. So I have a folder that has my bumper, which is my animation, my logo animation, and then I have one that has my end screen in it. So once I chop up that video, I'll leave a gap to drop in my logo or my intro animation there with the Creator Fundamentals logo, and then I drop my end screen at the end. And just the change in that process and not creating a bunch of files for me to work with was a really big time saver for me. Zingcat also says timestamping is very helpful as well. You can just jot down the times, even in a notebook when you're doing each take. Helps a lot. Absolutely. All right. Zealous says, would you say it's worth being in a network, or is it better to not get into one? Quite honestly, I have never heard anybody provide a legitimate reason to join a network for a small channel. It's always been my impression that networks exist to offer you services or offer you to do things that you could do yourself, that are available for free out there if you want to make the effort. So if you're a small channel and you don't want to start forking out money for somebody else to do, or to supposedly give you access to tools and things that you could find for free, I really don't recommend the whole network thing. I've heard that some bigger, when you're like much larger channels, there may be some benefits to networks, and there's some legitimate bigger networks out there, but I think most of the networks that prey on small YouTubers are just trying to you know, collect money from a bunch of different channels. But that's just my personal opinion. Everybody is up, you know, can do their own thing, but nobody has yet to make a compelling argument to me why networks are the way to go. So I avoid them like the plague. And you should also be cautious anytime somebody reaches out to you and tries to build up your, you know, inflate your ego and then offer you a product. That should be a red flag to you that maybe you don't want to go with them. You know, if somebody's just that you've never met before starts complimenting you and then tries to sell you something, they might just trying to sell you something. Lady to Winner, enjoy your show. Beginner's Guide Channel. Hi, what is small yellow for? I don't know what that means. Love your channel, and that is what I do, but don't have that high tech stuff yet. I don't know what that's in relation to. The good thing about YouTube is you don't really need any high tech stuff. Did the first 100 videos on this channel with just my iPhone. Casual unboxing. Video editing is still the most time consuming for me. 6-minute video may take an hour or two. Yeah, and that's, I mean, my videos are usually in the 5-6 minute mark. And they can definitely take an hour or two to put them all together. Sometimes it depends how much additional stuff I'm putting in. One of the things I'm trying to do is not make a 6-minute video that's just people staring at my face talking to the camera. So I'm trying to start to mix in some more transitions and some B-roll and those kind of things, or some, you know, actual look at the processes on YouTube and stuff, just to make it a little more engaging. But I just started I think the last video I put out which was 5 pro tips for growing your YouTube channel. I tried to do some of those things in that video, so I'll see how the response is on that in terms of percentage viewed, and see whether that was a positive thing or not. One of the things you always want to do is try to, you know, be willing to do things different on your channel to find out what works and how you can evolve. And that's what I'm doing there with that. Oh, Aquarium Sunshine Valley, the 57 top left corner. What is that number? That is the number of people that are on the live stream at the moment. It may be, I don't know how that compares to the number that shows. Let's see how it, that's coming from Streamlabs. So I'm not 100% sure. Let me see how it looks on YouTube itself and whether there's any delay in that, because obviously the number fluctuates. Is that... I think it's a little bit delayed because I think right now... So right now, YouTube is saying that there's 78 people in this live stream. That might be a new high number there, which is totally awesome. If you're new to the live stream, welcome to the live stream. My name is Dan Currier. This is Creator Fundamentals. If you're not subscribed to the channel, definitely click that subscribe button and join us, where the goal is to simplify YouTube. So I try to put out videos that kind of take the mystery out of this process that is growing on YouTube, share them with you guys so we can all grow together. So if you haven't subscribed to Creator Fundamentals, please do, and come and join us and figuring out how this whole thing works and how we can grow our channels and be successful, and hope to do that together with you. So good to see such a good size crowd tonight. The let me see here. I almost feel, has that number... I just want to see if doing this changes it at all. Yeah, I don't know why. Here, let's try this. For some reason, I think it gets stuck. The House of David just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Let's see. This is called the view counter from Streamlabs. If I paste that in there and hit OK. And yeah, see, that just updated. So we're up to 70 right now, which is awesome. And that did actually change. So awesome to have everybody here in the live stream tonight. That might be, I think it was up as high as 78, which was fantastic. Good to see everybody here. That is the great thing about Creative Fundamentals. There is a great community. A lot of people come back for the live streams, which are every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. So if this is your first live stream, I hope you'll subscribe to the channel and come back and hang out with us every Wednesday. One of the big changes we have tonight, one of the things that I was trying out in the last few streams was giving priority on channel reviews to anyone who is interested in super chatting, just as a way to kind of pick people out of the crowd, because what ends up happening is typically there's a ton of people that want channel reviews, and I'm unable to do all of them. But tonight, as of tonight and going forward, I'm no longer going to prioritize channel reviews for super chat. That means anybody has a fair shot at getting a channel review completely free. You know, nothing that you have to do other than request one when we open it up to channel reviews, which will be a little bit later. That said, the channel does absolutely appreciate the super chats. They go a long way in helping the channel grow. So if you have found value from the channel, or it has helped you grow in any way, and you would like to consider donating a super chat tonight or in the future, it is greatly appreciated. Trying to catch up here, make sure I don't miss any questions. So we can do this, CJ. I have to tell you, guy, have a YouTube channel seem more stressful than my real job. So if your YouTube channel is more stressful than your real job, you should really consider the way you're approaching it. One of the things that I've done on this channel is not get so focused on the need to grow or to grow fast or to do any of those things. For just that idea, we want to do YouTube. If we want to do YouTube as a replacement to our job, and you want something that can actually make money down the road, the last thing you want to do is create another awful job for yourself. So keep that in mind and try to develop a an environment that you actually enjoy. There's absolutely no point in creating a miserable situation for yourself where it's just as stressful or worse for your or than your actual job. Because why? The whole point of YouTube is to be your own boss. And I think what happens is people get caught up in this comparison game where they're looking at other people's channels and they're growing faster than I am, and what am I doing, and it's not working. I have been very conscious of that while growing this channel. And while I do try to push myself, and for the most part I've tried to do 3 videos a week since I started, there have been nights that I was supposed to do a video and I said, you know what? You know, I obviously the nights that I can, I do, but I'm okay with giving myself a break and saying, you know what? Don't do a video tonight. If I had a long day at work, because I do this after hours, then I give myself that leeway to take a day off, which I think is important, because I think that's kind of the reason we get into this, if we want to do it as a business or as a, you know, if you have a dream in the future of having this replace your job. Bubsy Vision, Dan, numbers are up because you're good. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. It is awesome to have everybody hang out with us. Now, see, that number is changing now, but I think every once in a while it gets stuck, and I don't know why. I don't know if that's just a bug in it or... Kevin Boston, you give out channel reviews the same way Oprah used to give out cars. And you get a channel review, and you get a channel review. All right. How many views should I get per video? I have 226 subscribers. I currently get about 50 views per video. Kevin Boston, well, I would take a look into see. I mean, there's no exact answer that everybody should have on that. I'd be curious to see how many of those views you're getting from your subscribers versus non-subscribers. But I don't think there's like a hard and fast answer of exactly how many. You'll have a much better sense of how many of your subscribers are active subscribers by seeing what the view count is associated with your subscribers, and kind of decide whether you want to try to improve upon that, which may just be the result of giving people videos, the kind of videos that they want to watch based on what you've done in the past. All right. Casual Unboxing, thank you again for the super chat. You're awesome. I appreciate you. Have a good night. Just making sure. Oh, there we go. Okay. Look under your seats. You will find the keys to your brand new car. Okay, I just have to go look at something here real quick. Mm-mm. 13, 2 days, 3 days, 1 week. Alrighty. All right. Yeah, I don't know why anybody would want to continue doing a YouTube channel if it wasn't enjoyable. Artistic Mind, why my subscribers don't watch my videos? 95% of my views are from non-subscribers. I mean, I would take a look first to, you can look at your subscriber report and your analytics to see what brought your subscribers to your channel in the first place. That'll give you an idea of the kind of content that they are interested in watching. Then you can determine whether or not that's still the type of content that you're making. And, you know, that's something to consider as well. I mean, at 226 subscribers, I would just focus on whatever your intended niche is and continue to make videos. And having 95% non-subscribers watching your videos aren't necessarily a bad thing. You know, that's a whole lot of an audience that you have the potential to convert to subscribers. So British Cook says my hammer is twitching and I have an idea of which user that's for, and that can certainly, a hammer could certainly be dropped if certain things persist. Let's see. No front brakes. Are your OBS scenes super packed with layers? So this particular, this particular scene that you're seeing here in OBS, it has visible scenes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this particular OBS scene has 13 sources. Whether you could do it in less, I don't know. I mean, because some of these sources are the extra things, like obviously that's its own source. That's its own source. They aren't really necessary. You know, each one of the scrolling marquees are a source. Each one of the logos, the TubeBuddy logos on the right are a source. So obviously they're not all necessary, but yeah, there's 13 different ones on that particular screen. All right, so I see some people that have to go. Aquarium Sunshine Valley, would the channel reviews be within the first 30 minutes? Just to know if I will be there in 30 minutes, I have to go to work. Hang on here. Give me just a minute. All right, so here, I'm going to take a quick look at Aquarium Sunshine Valley's channel. Let me see if I can center this a little bit better here. All right. And I know that Aquarium Sunshine Valley's in the streams all the time, so I want to take a quick moment and take a look at this channel and kind of give you guys a sense of how we're going to do the channel reviews a little bit later. But in this case, we have a very clear channel art, albeit in a different language. But it's very clear in exactly what the channel name is, what the content is about, and the frequency with which they are providing the content to their viewers. So that's all very good. It looks like it's been done optimized for mobile, which if you look here, probably somewhere just past the tail and maybe over here near the shoulder here is where it's going to get cut off on mobile. So that's great. You can tell exactly what it's related to. I see some fish and some plant life. And let's take a look at the actual videos. So here, the one thing that I would say about your thumbnails is what I would call a disconnect between the color scheme that you're using in your channel art and your thumbnails. I see the teeny tiny reference here, which I think is your logo, but I think it's really too small to identify it as your channel. I might actually try to do that a little bit bigger, and I would probably opt for either using the same blue in your or in your thumbnails, or possibly if you wanted to bring the red up here, either way. But I would want those to be more in tune with each other in terms of that color scheme. You are consistent with the colors that you're using, and I see previously you were doing the bar here, and I don't know if this is a case where you recently updated your channel art but you haven't done the thumbnails yet, but I would definitely consider trying to get those colors to work more with each other. I just want to take a look. You definitely have the red and white, so I don't know if this represents a new version. I feel like I've looked at your channel before, or I know I've looked at your channel before, but I can't quite remember what you had going on up here. So I would probably try to either get the blue into your thumbnails or vice versa if you prefer the red. That would be the goal there. And I would also stop that. So you got popular, you got your descriptions. My personal preference on the home page is to do the horizontal playlists as opposed to these lists of playlists. And the reason for that is it gives you, I feel like it gives you a lot more meaningful information in the least amount of space. People are going to choose to watch your video based on your thumbnail and your title. They're not really going to get into the description of them. And these horizontal playlists, kind of like what your popular uploads look like, gives you your thumbnail, gives you your title, allows them to make the decision of whether they want to click on it. These take up a whole lot of room, and you can't see all the videos that are actually in the playlist, plus the whole playlist display kind of distorts your thumbnail, which makes them hard to watch anyway. In this case, you have 163 videos and they're all kind of stacked on each other, so you can't really get a sense. Whereas this, you have your playlist name, your description of what's in it, and then you get to expose 5 videos and their titles and their thumbnails. And I just think it offers a much better opportunity for people to see your content and find something that interests them. So about section, I'm going to assume that you get to the point here and you explain exactly what you are all about. The one thing that I always suggest in the about section is to kind of lead with your headline in terms of who you what your channel's about, and then go into your backstory. I know a lot of people have differing opinions on this approach, but to me, if somebody clicks on your about section, I definitely want to I want to stress exactly what your value add is to them first. And then if they're interested in the backstory, then you can say, you know, we do this, this, and this. Hi, my name is so-and-so. I've been doing this. This is why I do this. You know, and then get into the backstory that way. But those are the things that I would mention for this channel. And I just want to take a peek here real quick. You have some good growth going. Closing in on 100,000 views. Awesome. Congrats on getting over 1,000 subscribers. Good traffic. Yeah, so you're doing well. I would, like I said, get those color schemes more in tune with each other and carry on from there. All right. Gonna shout out help. So TVT Cactus says, can a shout out help? Like, I want people that like Fortnite to watch me. Well, I mean, I haven't really found shout outs to be all that valuable. The only time I've ever actually seen shout outs work is when it's a really big channel or a really big influencer shouting out a smaller channel. I've certainly had my channel announced and suggested by much larger YouTubers. It doesn't really transition to a whole lot of growth or anything like that. The two big examples, or probably the one example where I've actually seen this work, is at Vid Summit last year. Gary Vaynerchuk. For those of you who know, Gary Vaynerchuk was the keynote speaker. And there was this kid who came up and asked Gary, he got in line and asked Gary Vaynerchuk a question. And Gary asked him what his goals were. And the kid, being a kid, came back and said something, oh, well, I hope to get 300 subscribers by the end of the year. which obviously we know is your goal. Your goal should be much different than a subscriber count. Obviously, if you want to grow your channel and your influence and your business and all that, it goes much farther than just a subscriber count. Subscriber count just comes with it. But in any event, for the sake of whatever, after Gary gave him some advice, he's like, listen, everybody in the room, why don't you get this kid, I don't know what he had like 130 subscribers. Why don't you get this kid over 300 subscribers? Before the kid left, and I actually, for those of you who know Dale Roberts, we actually brought the kid on on Dale's live stream. It was me and Dale and his wife, and I don't know why I can't remember the kid's name, but we all went on a live stream after the fact and asked him about it and what he thought. Well, later on, Gary Vaynerchuk shouted him out on Instagram and Twitter, and the kid now has like 15,000 subscribers. So, I mean, he's a cool little kid. He does backflips and stuff and all kinds of things, and really embrace the attention and whatnot. But generally speaking, shout outs don't go that far in terms of actually growing your channel, especially if you're trying to rely on a shout out versus doing the work. Doing the work is always going to grow your channel much better than shouting it out to somebody. Oh, Sunshine, Aquarium Sunshine Valley, channel art is new yesterday. Awesome. Still need to change thumbs. Just not sure that blue will pop out and text will be easy to read. Thanks for the review, Dan. Yeah, absolutely. So if you look at, if you've noticed my thumbnails, if you take a peek at my thumbnails, they are actually on a blue background. And obviously some of the colors that, if you take a look at what the colors that I use, you might get some ideas of the kind of colors that can pop on a blue background. One of the things that I also found is not just using a solid blue background, but finding something that had some texture has also gone a long way in making the text pop. So just some suggestions for you on that. But yeah, I like your new channel art. Definitely gets the message across. It's clear and well formatted and easy to read. So good job on that front. And I appreciate the super chat. Thanks a lot. All right. All right, I agree. Horizontal works well. Most thumbnails. Yep. Rocket Scientist, got to go. Have a good night. Good to see you. Gordon Ramsay has a house near British Cook. Yeah, I mean, questions like if your subscriber count and your view count is good, it's really different for every channel. So that's not really a question anybody can answer for you in terms of whether those numbers are good. The important thing is that you're focused on actually improving every day and growing your channel. Otherwise, don't worry about your subscriber count. If you continue to improve and are consistent in making videos on your schedule, you will continue to grow, and the subscriber account will follow, and so will views and everything else like that. So I would focus more on learning best practices and trying to do all that than actually worrying about whether your subscriber account is where you think it should be, because that's just getting into the comparison game. So all right, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this chat, and then we will do some channel reviews. No front brakes. I think I found you through Schmoyer, Tim Schmoyer, video creators. Awesome. All right, almost to the back here. Okay, so listen closely. If you would like a channel review, I need you to tag Creator Fundamentals in your comment, followed by your channel name. Do that now. And Katrina Renee is going to be first because I didn't get to her on the last live stream. So while you guys are doing that, I'm going to bring up her channel and we're going to take a look. Woo! Get the music playing in the background. All right, let's take a look. While you guys are listing your channels, I'll come back and take a look at that. And then we'll go from there. So here we go. Katrina Renee. Feel good, look good doing it. New videos Monday, Thursday, and Saturday. So I get a general sense of what your channel is about based on that, but it's a little bit vague in terms of the type of content that you're making. So let's see. Here to help you feel good and look good doing it. What does that mean? There's the question. Content about wellness, lifestyle, beauty, mindset, and everything in between. So one of the things that I would suggest is maybe consider a way to include like a tagline or something. I mean, that's perfect. I see that's kind of like your mantra or your mission statement. But maybe something that says that you're doing videos about wellness, lifestyle, beauty, etc. And try to put that in below somewhere in here to kind of clarify exactly the type of content that you're doing, just to offer a little more clarity for people who just happen upon your channel. Again, there's short attention spans out there. You want to kind of, entice people to click that subscribe button as soon as they get to your channel. And the quicker you can deliver your, the value that you plan on delivering to them, the better chance you have of converting them. The other thing, I don't know what this button over here is. I don't even... Oh, is that supposed to be Instagram maybe? I feel like there's something missing there, or there's like an icon, or you tried to use a character that doesn't print. But I would get rid of this, even whether it's Instagram or not, and replace it with a subscribe button. So you can actually do like a link to the automatic subscribe here, which is you just take the link to your channel name up here, like that. And then you do question mark, sub underscore, confirmation equals 1. And you copy that whole thing. And then you add it as a link in here to subscribe. So when they click on it, they'll get the pop-up, the subscribe pop-up on your window. Oh, you probably can't see that on here. So what's a good way for me to show you? So I don't think that's in display. Let's see here. If we do this. Here, let's do this. So what I was saying is you get your channel link here and then you add a slash and I'm sorry. We get that slash out of there. So you get your full channel address there. You add a question mark and you do sub underscore confirmation equals 1. And that's a link that when somebody clicks on it, it actually causes a little pop-up to appear over your channel with the option to subscribe. So this is the link that you would use. And I'll send that actually to you through your channel, just so you can get that. And then you actually do a channel, you change this link to something that says subscribe now or something to that effect. And I would replace that there. Take a look at your videos. Good use of your consistent color to show everybody exactly that your thumbnails are coming from your channel. You're using consistent font and color schemes to do that. I may rethink this particular font a little bit, only because it gets a little muddy and difficult to read when it's small. But like this get text, that's a good font to use. But this other one could be a little bit difficult. You're using your face as part of your branding, which is excellent. So overall, I think you're doing a great job here of showing people that all of your content is associated with your channel. Maybe we have, I see you've just recently started to focus on the new style, which is fantastic. And how we doing on playlists? We have playlists. 2-8. All right. And then on your main page, how we got everything organized. Ooh, yowza. That's loud. All right. And so one of the things that you can try to consider doing instead of doing your playlists like this is try to come up with something that might actually be searchable, that could appear in search results. So instead of just beauty with the bars, back. Try to come up with like an actual searchable keyword phrase for your thumb or your playlists. But overall, I'm assuming you got some feedback somewhere and you started to make those improvements, because I can see everything is starting to go well together here. So you're definitely on the right track. And like I said, I might just add a little more information to really identify what kind of content you're delivering and to help grow that channel and go from there. All right, so let's look at this chat. Hope that was helpful for you. Sorry I didn't get to you last week. All right, so now I'm going to go down and see how many people followed my instructions properly. All right, so I'm going to try, give me 2 seconds while I make a list of everybody who did this properly. And we will see how many we can get through. Oh, wow, that's... All right, so that's where it starts. Let me close all these out. I'm actually just going to open them in the background in the order that I see them. So we'll do go to channel there. We'll make sure nothing's going to autoplay. Oh, I like that channel. And we're going to do that one. And this one. While you're waiting for me to make this list, definitely hit the thumbs up button on the live stream if you haven't done so already. If you happen to be in the chat and you aren't subscribed to the channel, definitely click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon if you want to receive alerts for future videos that help simplify YouTube. And I will continue to make this list. The other thing to consider, if I run into any channels that aren't general audience appropriate, I may not be able to bring them up. But let's see, we got that one, and then this one. Okay. All right, we're getting there, we're getting there, we're getting there. Okay. Ooh. Hopefully I don't crash my browser opening up all these tabs. Okay. Getting there. Making progress here. Tabs are getting smaller and smaller. All right. Almost there. Oh, I see a repeat. Hopefully there aren't too many repeats in there. Maybe makes it hard for me to make the list. All right. Oh, come on, get back up there. All right. Getting closer. This is quite the list so far. I'm going to do my best to make it through as many as possible. Ooh, that was loud. I'm going to try to make these as efficient as possible. So you definitely want to pay attention when I get to your channel. So I'm going to try to hit all the high points. And again, while other people's channels are being reviewed, definitely listen, because this stuff applies. It's a lot of the same stuff over and over again. As we go through all these channel reviews, you're going to see that it's a lot of common things that people tend to need to work on. Okay. I have some people that didn't quite follow the instructions, but close enough. Interesting. I have no idea what that is, but okay. That will be an interesting one to look at. And getting there, guys. Copy that one. This will be fun. There's definitely some channels I've never seen before, so it'd be fun to take a look at them for the first time. How many channel trailers I have to try to pause without? Bring that one up. All right, so I think we're almost to the end here of making this list. So I'm going to try to, oh, hang on. Okay. think I'm just about to the end here. We will. Oh, hang on, get over there. All right, stop that. Pop that open. We are close. All right, certain people are keep asking. Don't keep asking for your channel. If you asked once, I'll see it. If you keep asking, it makes it harder for me to make a unique list. So, okay, so we have. Is that the last one? I think we're. Get over here. Stop. That's a repeat. I think that one's a new one. All right. Cool, cool. All right, guys, I got to the end of the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right, so just so you know, there are 26 channels on my list to do channel reviews on. So we're going to try to make these as efficient as possible. I am going to do all 26 of the channels. If you find value in these channel reviews, you can definitely support the channel with Super Chat. You don't have to, but that's completely up to you. And I'm just going to launch right into them. I'll try to do a couple of them in a row and then jump into the chat, so I won't see your comments right off the bat. And I just got to go based on what I see. I can't really take questions or have interaction with each individual channel review. So pay attention. We're going to take a look at all these channels. You get a chance to see what other people are doing on their channels, and let's get to it. First channel up is No Front Brakes. Obviously, you can tell by looking at this channel art exactly what the channel is about. Obviously, you can see it's related to bikes, no front brakes, surviving adaptive mountain biking. Crystal clear in what they're doing. Over 2,000 subscribers, so they've integrated some references to their social media, which is fine. Color scheme here, we have what looks like a logo, consistent down here in the icon, so that ties that in together. Taking a look at the videos, try not to make sure nothing. So we have the same color scheme. We have that orange and the light blue or aquamarine, whatever that is, that ties into the channel or into the thumbnails. The one thing, so here's the one thing that you want to do on your channel, definitely want to do. Your branding that you're using, which is your logo, you need to find a different place than the lower right-hand corner to put it, because as you can see, it always gets covered by the timestamp, and that'll be the case on here and on mobile. So you want to find a new home to move that logo out of the lower right-hand corner. You can do it upper right, lower left, get that out of there. And then you also, some of this text is a bit too small. Don't feel like you have to repeat your entire title in the words on the thumbnails, but I like your combination of colors. They're generally easy to read. Just make those tweaks of getting, you know, some of this, that's really tiny text. No idea what that says. Think about or look at your thumbnails small to make sure the text can be read. The type of font that you use seems pretty good. You got the outline, so it's generally easy to read. I'd be a little concerned about using like this green on the green background. Even though you got the dark outline, it's still a little tough to make out. You might be able to compensate for that by using bigger text. So I would do that as well. About section, welcome to No Front Brakes, where I ride mountain bikes with a prosthetic to challenge you to get out and ride. Awesome. Great mission. And then you get into the information about your channel, which is excellent. Go to your home page and stop this one right here. Again, you got the horizontal thumbnail or the horizontal playlists. I would definitely, I thought you had quite a bit of content here. Let me look at your playlists here real quick. 59, 3. I would definitely try to, it looks like you have plenty or enough thumbnail or playlists there that have multiple or that have enough videos. So I would try to stack up your horizontal playlists out here and not just do the creative playlists. You can have up to 10 sections. So if you have 10 playlists that have over 5 videos in them, I'd get those all listed out here on your front page. But definitely want to make those tweaks and you'll be good to go from there. So I'm going to head into the next channel review. We are looking at Rodney B. Hunt, Tech Tips for YouTube Creators. I love Rodney's channel art. Nice job here, building himself into the brand. Everything looks good. You know exactly what his channel is about based on this. The only thing I'm curious, I think that's probably good. Curious where mobile cuts off, but I feel like it's just inside the subscribe bar. So probably the majority of his face fits in there. Good, and I'm sure he's considered that anyway. So otherwise, you know, you're telling who you are, what you're doing, when you're doing it, perfect on all counts. He has that color scheme that he pulls into his thumbnails. His thumbnails are easy to read. He's reinforcing the branding of his face in his content and on his thumbnails. So he's doing a great job there. And again, he's doing, looks like he is going for a little tweak in the color scheme that he's using on his thumbnails. Still easy to read. And kind of, he might be considering using this particular color scheme to further stand out from the crowd that is, you know, the content or the tech and tips for YouTube creators. I know some of the content that he does obviously is similar to what Creator Fundamentals does. And that's using the yellow and the blue and the way he's doing it now will definitely make his stuff stand out from the crowd. So looks great in that respect. He has his playlists. He has his full descriptions on his playlist. He's using all the best practices to get his channel out there. And it's only a matter of time before his channel really starts to take off. So doing all the good stuff. We go in the About section, I can imagine. Rodney B. Hunt channel is all about helping you create videos, grow your channel, and other YouTube related tips. And then he gets into a little more detail. Great. Yeah, so overall, I think he's definitely doing all the right things. Is this? If I wanted to get particular, the only thing, and this is just a pet peeve, well, not even a pet peeve, but just the one variation is it looks like the yellow in your channel art is different than the yellow in your icon. So I might do that, pop that open in like GIMP or Photoshop or something and use a dropper to get that yellow and this just looks like a much brighter version of yellow than what you have up here. And I kind of like this yellow up here. It's almost has like a goldish tint to it. But I would grab that and use it in my thumbnails and my icon to really just kind of lock all those things in together. But other than that, man, you're definitely going down the right path and doing all of the things that will help you win here in the future. All right, moving on. Zingcat. Very clear to the point channel art, but I don't know what your channel is about based on your channel art. Comedy skits involving puppets. So I would... I know I've definitely looked at this channel before. And the one thing that I would say here is, I mean, that's a cool looking logo, but I feel like there's a disconnect between your channel art and your icon and your thumbnails. Obviously in these thumbnails it's good because you appear in them, so we can associate your icon with your thumbnails. But like when you get into thumbnails like this that don't have your face and they don't have that logo, there becomes kind of the disconnect. If the puppets are consistent, maybe they're the stars of your channel. If that's the case, Perhaps even including them in your channel art might be an option. But I would say if you are intent on using this Zingcat logo, I would find a way to either incorporate that into your actual thumbnails, or just try to find something that ties everything together. I think these, let me see what your most recent thumbnails are so we can see which direction you're going in. Looks like you have two different styles that you have done fairly recently in the past week or so. And I'm not sure what the, so let's see, Alfredo sauce, less is more, self-esteem, product placements. Yeah, I would try to find some more consistency in that regard, because I don't really see, like, if somebody was on this video, if they were watching this particular video here and this was in the sidebar, I don't know that somebody would know that this is your video based on the way your thumbnail is set up. So that's something you kind of want to keep in mind, because if people really like that video and they look over to the sidebar quick to try to find other videos that are yours, they might have a problem identifying your content in that regard. So anyway, you can kind of tie all those together, which is either making, extending your face as the brand and bringing that into your channel art and getting it into all your thumbnails, or maybe the puppets or the stars and you want to incorporate them into the whole process. But that's definitely something to consider. Channel's definitely been around for a while, 4,000 subscribers, 1 million views. Getting good, consistent traffic. But yeah, I mean, you definitely have a good audience, and I think you'd be able to pull in, what was that? Yeah, I mean, I think with that kind of consistent content, you could definitely improve this number by helping people see your other content and making it easier for them to take in your content and see stuff that's going to get them to subscribe to your channel. So moving on, Ron Purdy, home of Per TV Productions. All right, so it looks like possibly, judging by these thumbnails, some horror type of content. Hopefully there's nothing down there too inappropriate for the old live stream. Here's what I'll say. There's a disconnect between your thumbnails and your channel art and your icons. See these reoccurring themes? Up here, Ron Purdy, home of Per TV. No idea what Per TV is. When I see that, it makes me think that you're doing something with cats. So obviously it's a play on your name, but I don't know that somebody who knows nobody who happens upon your channel has any reference to what it is you're trying to do there. Your channel art is really like a billboard. If you're out there trying to sell a house, you're going to tell somebody it's Ron's Realty, the best service in selling your home, or whatever the case. You're not just going to throw your name up on a billboard and expect anybody to understand exactly what it is you're trying to sell. So this is your billboard. You want to communicate to people exactly what it is you are trying to deliver to them, what that value is. Is it, are they horror? Are you making like your own films? Are they horror shorts? Whatever the case may be, that seems to be a reoccurring theme based on those particular thumbnails that I can see. Let's look in your about section and try to get more information. Something stupid this way comes, from sketches to short films to interviews and beyond. Per TV Productions is here to bring you the best in entertainment, no matter how ridiculous. So this is one of the common things that a lot of people do when they start a YouTube channel, is they say, I want to have a brand, so they lead with their brand. And Per TV Productions is obviously the brand that you're trying to grow, but Per TV Productions is not the value that you're trying to deliver. So I would consider focusing your branding on delivering the value. And that's kind of what you want to lead with. So it's great that you have your branding. In this case, although you have some disconnects with, you have a certain type of text here with a dark blue background, a white text. Then you move into an icon that has a red background with dark outlined white text. It doesn't look like it's the same. It's not the same font. So there really isn't a cohesive branding going on that would show people that this RP has anything to do with Ron Purdy, Per TV Productions. So you want all that to kind of play together. You also want to be able to extend that branding onto your thumbnails so people can tell that this video is from this channel, etc. If we take a look at your playlists, we have short films. Not sure what that means. Ron goes to jail. The Ron almost looks like you're doing, like you have sketches and things here. You have some vlog content. So if you are doing a general, if you're doing a lot of vlog content, it looks like you're trying to make shorts and things. So I would try to get something to this effect in your channel art that describes to people exactly what it is that you're delivering, so people know what to expect and why they want to subscribe to your channel. That's what you're trying to do here, is explain why you're trying to, or why somebody should care enough to subscribe to your channel to see your next video. So that's what I would focus on there. Varuna Aquatics Freshwater. New video every Friday. Life's better with fish. Obviously, this is a fish channel, a fish tank channel, I do believe. We have some consistent color scheme up here. The channel art is easy to read, although I would probably give it a little bit. There's kind of a lot of text going on there. So I would probably create a little more space between your text and eliminate so like the fresh water in the middle. I don't know that it's super necessary. Obviously your channel is Varuna Aquatics. If you want to keep, you kind of have your mantra or your little slogan at the bottom there, I would probably consider removing freshwater here. Somebody can see that your channel is about aquatics and fish tanks and fish, and I don't think it would be hard for them to go and discover that you're dealing in freshwater. In fact, I would probably imagine if they would probably make the assumption of freshwater, I would imagine. Only because freshwater tanks are probably much more common than saltwater tanks. Probably a lot easier to carry. Well, I honestly don't know. We've never had a saltwater tank, but I think you could do without the freshwater and maybe resize some of the text down here so it's not so text heavy, and give it some room to breathe, so people can actually see what it's all about and what your content is about. Varuna Aquatics, we run it out of our house. Our passion for our pets and our need. Locally available quality options is what led us to start our business. So I'm assuming that you're breeding aquatic pets, fish and whatnot, in like a shipping business. That's interesting because one of my patrons also does, I think, is doing a similar thing. I don't know if you've ever interacted with Science Gal Aquatics, but I believe she is currently building a tank room along the same lines to do the similar type of thing. So you guys might want to touch base with each other and see if you have like a collaboration opportunity or something. But or maybe you already have, who knows. But yeah, I would definitely kind of resize that text and get that out of there. Zincat, I did see that super chat. Thank you so much. I absolutely appreciate it. I haven't got back to the chat yet, but I will take a look here in a minute. We'll take a break. We've gotten through, this will be the fifth thing, so we are a fifth of the way through. Playlists. Looks like you're doing it based on the particular type of fish. Corridoras, plecos. Got some shrimp and some snails. How we doing on here? Again, wherever possible, try to think of your playlist names in terms of an actual keyword phrase that people might search for. And do as much as you can to explain what you plan on covering in that particular playlist with your descriptions. You do have everything laid out as a horizontal playlist, which is good. One of the other things in this case, you can kind of use these counts here to help you understand what kind of content to make next. Try to fill out, get at least 5 videos in each of these playlists to fill out all that available space, so you don't have all this dead space here. Thank you, No Front Breaks, for the super chat. I appreciate it. But that would be, yeah, you have the color scheme going here. One thing, a common thing, lower right-hand corner. Stay out of that lower right-hand corner with text because it gets obscured by that timestamp. Timestamp on the mobile version is even going to be even bigger. Also, you see the difference, and I assume this, let's see, look at your videos and see which ones are most recent. Hopefully this was a change that you made based on some feedback where you went from this thin font to this thicker, more easily to read font. This is definitely the better way to go, and helps people to see exactly what your content is about, and it's consistent with what you have going on up here, so that's cool. Also, it might, if this fish is your kind of your branding, it definitely seems to be up here. You might be able to even try including that fish on your icon or your channel art. How many times am I going to say it wrong? On your thumbnails to kind of drive home the link between all of them. So all good things to consider. And we will move on to the next one here and see what we have going on. After this, I'll do this review and then I'll hop in the chat, see what everybody's talking about, just to catch up with everybody. Smiley and... I'm not sure what that second word is. Smiley and... a variety video game streamer. I'm not sure how that's pronounced. Smiles? Smiles? Smiley and Smiles with double I's. I don't know if there's a significance to the double I's or what that's about, but a gaming and fan art channel. Pretty straightforward there. Everything should fit in mobile as well. Take a look. I am Smiley and Smiles, a variety video game streamer, though I plan to focus on bit heroes and doing fan arts. I like the company of live streaming and just chilling out with you guys. So I think that's consistent with what you have going on up here. Then we look at your actual content, see what's going on. Look at your... okay. These are your... that looks like your live... it's interesting. That doesn't say... not sure if that was an actual live stream, mixed live stream. Welcome, everybody. Assuming that is your live stream thumbnail. We got your trailer. You're using... definitely have the yellow here that kind of works with your smiley. Smiley's a little bit, I mean, the smiley icon might be a little bit generic on the branding side, but in terms of people being able to recognize something as your content by having a smiley icon on it. I don't know if you designed that particular smiley yourself or what the case is there. Here, okay, down here I see you have like the actual logo with smileys and smiles. I don't know if this is a screen print or something, but you don't need the little subscribe button on your channel, on your thumbnails. I don't know if everything you do is live, because they all have this little live icon on them. So I'm not sure what I'm looking at there. Live streaming, live streaming. So it may be that all you do is live streams based on this content. That's what it would certainly look like. So it's like you're doing some Let's Plays. So Bit Heroes, Phantom Force, that's different than what your content is. You're doing some fan art here. Bit Hero Livestream, Creativerse Livestream, PUBG Mobile, PUBG. So I think that it looks like a majority of your content is what you stated in your channel art, but you definitely cover some other topics as well. I don't know what that icon is, but I feel like it's a little bit confusing as to what to expect from your channel. Live stream live. I'm guessing everything. If you just do, I'm not sure if you're just doing live, if everything you do is a live stream or not, but you certainly have that live logo on every one of your channel or every one of your thumbnails. So if that's the case, if you're only doing live content, I might make reference to that in your actual channel art to explain to people what you have going on there. And I would definitely try to reduce the redundancy of all the smiley faces you have in your channel art. I don't think all those are necessary. And I just think it kind of distracts and kind of clouds the message that you're trying to deliver with a thumbnail. You have it up here, you have it down here, you have it next to that, and on some of these you have a subscribe button. So I would definitely reduce the number of smileys you're using there, and go from there. So thank you so much, Heather, for the super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let me jump in chat here and try to catch up with everybody since it's been quite a few live streams. I do that every time. I call channel reviews live streams. I'm going to scroll back up and try to catch up with everybody here. We just went through 6 channel reviews and we'll continue on here in a minute. No problem, Rodney. All right, let's try to catch. Doug Houston says he just got a mid-roll ad. All right, then. All right, scrolling down now that I think I got back caught up. If you're just coming into the live stream, right now I have a list of 26 channels. I've just gotten through 6 of them, so I still have 20 more channels to review. I appreciate everybody who has offered a super chat after the fact. I appreciate it, and hopefully we're able to offer a little bit of value and give you some direction on what to explore on improving on your channel. So scrolling. Thank you to the moderators for holding down the fort in the chat. Thank you again, Zingcat, for the super chat. All right, scrolling. Okay. Also, definitely look at the some of the comments in the chat when your channel's getting reviewed. There's some good feedback in there as well. Thank you so much, No Front Breaks, for the super chat as well. I appreciate it. Scrolling. All right. Oh, it's probably more interesting to see that than me trying to see me keep track of the chat here. Your real estate whisperer, do you use a sound curtain? Creator fundamentals? No, I don't use a sound curtain. I've looked into like the sound blankets and things, and they say that a good substitute or a cheap substitute on the sound blankets are moving blankets. But no, I just quarantine the family when I do live streams, so the house is quiet. All right, if that's what you're referring to. I'm not sure if you mean something else by a sound curtain, like a... if that has some other meaning, but... All right, Woodchuck Workshop, good night to you as well. Sensational Life, no, I have not sent out your hat yet, but I will. I'm not sure which profile picture you're talking to, Kevin. Talking about? I don't think I look angry in any of those, but I will take your word for it. All right, so as I mentioned on the channel reviews, we had 26 requests so far. I still have 20 to go, so. No, I'm trying. I gotta your hat. Yeah, it's not so much procrastination as just other stuff. I gotta find my bags to ship them in, which I tried looking for them that night that we did that, and I couldn't find them, so I have to figure out where they are. And let's see who we just did last. All right, so I'm gonna jump back in, do some more. I'm gonna close some of these out so we can make some more room up here. Get rid of the ones we've done. All right, so here comes the next channel review. All right, so this channel is Savage Speedy Snivy, or Snivy based on the channel art. I have no idea based on the channel art what the channel's about. If I look down at the icon and look at the name of the channel, I have no idea what the channel's about yet. So that's definitely something to consider if we go in the About section. My name is Savage Speedy Snivy, or Snivy for short. I do videos. Mainly focus on the game PBB for Roblox. But I hope to one day do that and even more. Go ahead and subscribe. So if you're gonna, so you really need to decide what your value is that you're delivering, and make that statement first. So decide exactly what kind of value you're delivering. If you're doing videos, if you're doing a specific like sub game for Roblox and that's going to be your focus, then identify that that's what it is and explain that in your channel art and let people know, and then ask people to subscribe for more of that particular content. Kind of randomly saying what you're making videos about and then asking people to subscribe, you might have a harder time doing it that way. So you definitely want to figure out what your videos are going to be about and then communicate that in your channel art. Let people know the type of videos you're making and why they would want to subscribe to your channel. It's all about explaining your value so people want to subscribe. As for your thumbnails, couple things. The orange and the green and the orange don't work well together, and it looks like you're using some kind of 3D font there that's really hard to read. The font is too small, and those are not a good contrasting colors to be able to show people or to be able to communicate a message clearly with a high contrast thumbnail. I'll take a look at your videos here, and what will I be doing for my 300 sub special? PvP Chimchar giveaway, new intro, thank you. I feel like you have a bunch of videos that are related to updates about your channel, but not actual content on the channel. So you definitely have some consistency things you want to work on, because you're not really, let's see, it seems like most of the videos I'm not really sure what you're doing on this channel. So this is a channel update. This is about a giveaway. This is asking people about an intro. This is a thank you for 200 subscribers. This looks like it might be actual content. Here you're asking people what to make videos about, telling people about a new outro, more giveaways. So it seems like most of your videos are about channel updates than actual content for the channel. Giveaway, 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 giveaway. I'm actually really curious. That's kind of a head scratcher to have 388 subscribers, 300 views per video, but most of the content on the channel is about making changes to the channel versus actual content that you're delivering. So not sure how all that works, but I would try to either focus on actually making videos about the type of content that you're doing, or decide what you actually want to make videos about content-wise and start pumping out some videos related to that topic. And once you do that, you want to work on getting your branding all tied together with the similar color schemes and text that's easy to read, etc. So, all right. The 2 Mark Crew. Based on the channel art, it seems to be a channel that's made up of 4 people. Don't really know what the channel is about. Don't really see how the icon relates to the channel art. This channel art will not look good on mobile because it's going to get cut off somewhere around here and here. So it'll basically just say "re" on mobile. And let's take a look at the about section. You wanted the best, you got the best, the hottest show in the world, the 2 Mark Crew, the only place to get wrestling reviews and views from fellow Marks. All right. Yeah, I mean, I would think if you're doing wrestling content, I don't think you're communicating that with this channel art and this icon. And that's something that you want to consider. You also need to I see your icon on some of these channel arts. Down here, this text is way too hard to read. Here, the text is cut off on the bottom, the top and bottom. So you want to find some consistency with the type of text that you use and the style of the thumbnail that you're creating in such a way that you can actually identify the brand or the channel that's associated with these. Let me take a look at your most recent videos. 2 Mark Crew, Dwayne, what's up, you Marks? Join and drain. Okay, so that looks like you're playing a video game. And here it looks like reaction to an actual WWE event. SmackDown Live review. So you're doing reviews on actual wrestling events. But yeah, I would try to find some consistency in how you're doing your thumbnails so people can tell they're from your channel. Angie's Random Vids. All right, so channel art. First, the idea of random vids is going to be something I will be posting random videos on weight loss maintenance, the secret, pixie cuts, fashion, and much more. So the thing about random vids on a channel, you definitely, if having content that is that wide, makes it difficult to communicate to people why they should subscribe to your channel, and may be more difficult for you to grow your channel faster, because there's no guarantee that somebody who subscribes for one type of video is going to see that type of video again anytime soon. So that can obviously cause some issues there. Also, your channel art is not doing anything to communicate to people exactly why they should subscribe to your channel. It just looks like some, I don't know if this is an image you took or whatever it is, but it doesn't communicate anything that can help somebody make a decision about subscribing to your channel. We take a look at your actual videos. My new undercut, best cut, easy weight loss. Why am I seeing the number 11? How I style my... So, a lot of pixie cut stuff. Some health stuff, weight loss stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're basically kind of doing a lifestyle vlog. So I would try to, I mean, if all the content is really going to revolve around that and involve you heavily, I would consider making yourself the brand. And make reference in your channel art that it's, you know, not Angie's Random Vids, but Angie's Lifestyle Vlog or something to that effect, and identify the type of videos that you're going to make, you know, related to all the things that are important to you, and kind of brand your channel that way, rather than just saying, yeah, I'm making random vids, subscribe if you want, a kind of thing. You know, to really drive people, encourage people to subscribe to your channel. See how frequently, 2 days, 3 days, 6 days. So you're definitely uploading at a decent rate recently. So I would try to really think about focusing your channel on being about you and lifestyle topics, rather than just calling it random vids and not having anything in your channel art to help people understand what's going on. Ad guy, gaming videos every week. Description doesn't really do anything to help people understand what your channel is all about. Obviously, this says that you're doing gaming videos every week. Let's take a look at your video upload and make sure that is the case. Pokemon Orange Islands. Today, yesterday, or a couple days ago. Week. All right, so in this case, you're definitely doing what appear to be all gaming videos. This style with your, I can tell that it's supposed to say Ad Guy 1, but that's nearly impossible to read. So I would consider finding a new way to present your name rather than whatever kind of text you're using here. So it's legible at that size. It's impossible to read that way. The only reason I know what it says is because I can see what your name is up here. But when you start to get into like funky text with interesting colors and styles and stuff, it makes it super hard to read at that level, and your icon doesn't really tie into what you're doing up here in your channel art. It doesn't look like the same font or the same color scheme. It almost looks like it's like rainbow or something in there. And then when you get it down on a thumbnail, teeny tiny, nobody can, people can't see what that says. So, you have that to go there. Let's see what just got sent to me here. All right, so that's something to consider. Try to find a way to make that more easily readable for people, so people can see what's going on there and know that that's your brand and that it's associated with your channel. Playlists, make sure you're making playlists. You have the playlist there, 3 of them. Try to continue to expand that out and get those, instead of doing popular uploads here in this vertical, try to do some horizontal playlists and get that as much content spread out as possible and go from there. Let's see when this channel started. Closing in on 10,000 views. Congrats on that. Building up a little bit of steam there, which is good. So yeah, I would kind of get that part ironed out with the icon and go from there. All right. Moshu King. New magic videos every week. Pretty straightforward in terms of what to expect on this channel. You have yourself in the image. One thing I might consider is trying to get a different crop shot so that your channel art doesn't cut off your head at your eyebrows. Try to get a full head shot in there. But otherwise, obviously, you see that it's new magic videos. You can see the cards in your hand. Again, I would kind of like to see that full view and your whole head in there, but it certainly delivers the message of what your channel is about. I might consider using your face in the icon as opposed to a card, because yes, it's magic and cards are used in magic, but it's not really a close representation of that icon being associated with your channel. And then we take a look at your actual thumbnails, and I can see that you're doing a lot of magic tricks where you are in your thumbnails. One of the things that I would recommend is, instead of doing just the screen prints of your videos, actually try to do custom thumbnails where you get kind of a closer crop so people can see your face better, because you are part of your brand. And go from there. Let me look at your most recent videos to see what you got going on. So when you're going to put text in here like this, first of all, you don't need to restate the entire title in your thumbnail. You also want to keep text out of the lower right hand corner because of the timestamp, because you can't see all the text there. Here you want to be conscious of the text that you use and the background that it's on to make sure it is high contrast and easy to read. That, like, it starts to blur out here with the W to see what's going on because the lighting in the background transitions. Here comes Mansion the Noisy Cat. Here you can see how some portions of this text you can read, and other places it gets a little murky. Again, try not to repeat the entire or the majority of the title in your thumbnail. Try to do something that just captures the attention. Again, with this style here is very difficult to read. I would try to reduce the number or the amount of text that you're using and make it much bigger and bolder and high contrast so people can read it. But otherwise, you're pretty consistent in your presentation. But like these, so like these are much better. It's a closer view of your face. I like these here rather than some of these where you're way far away or farther away. I would go from there. You know, try to get a consistent brand. It can be your face applied to all these. Maybe some consistency with the type of text that you're using and the colors of text you're using. Keep it out of the lower right hand corner and go forward from there. All right, next channel. Just Rashad. So I see a lot going on. By looking at your channel art, it either looks like you are doing a gaming channel where you play the Miami Heat in 2K18. But then I don't know what this icon is. I see the comedy up there, so there's kind of a lot going on. Other thing, at 159 subscribers, while you're trying to grow on YouTube, I would get rid of all of this stuff out of your channel art. You want to keep everybody on YouTube, focused on your YouTube content, and try to grow your YouTube channel. So adding a bunch of social media stuff to your channel art is not necessary and may actually slow down your growth. See how long we've been around and what we're doing. Just getting started here. Closing in on 2,000 views. All right. So I think you got way too much going on up here, and you don't clearly tell people what exactly you're covering. If we look at your About section. Comedy skits and everyday talk. So if your focus is on bringing smiles through comedy skits and everyday talk, that's kind of a disconnect from what you got going on in your channel art. So I would consider trying to better represent what you say your channel is about in your channel art than all of this stuff. I would also be conscious of trying not to use too many other brands' icons in your channel art. That can cause you problems down the road. The last thing you want to do is have your brand be somebody else's brand, because you can't do a whole lot with that as you grow. Take a look at your thumbnails here real quick. All right, I don't know what's going on here, but that's way too much text that nobody is ever going to read. So I would totally rethink what you got going on here. Nobody's going to read that thumbnail. And I don't know why you put out two different videos with exactly the same descriptions and everything there. And why it's, I'm real curious here. So this was basically a 4-hour live stream looking for somebody to do an intro. I don't know that that's the best use of your channel. And there are definitely resources out there to find this type of information rather than doing, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube didn't consider that to be a form of spam. A four-hour live stream that's basically an advertisement. So you might want to, I don't know that I would do that on my channel, rather than doing a search and looking for resources to be able to look for those kind of things. Fortnite, you're doing videos, or what appear to be gaming videos here. Gaming. Random tech video. Reactions to Flight Reacts. Yeah, I kind of think your content's kind of all over the place here. You got reaction videos and some gaming videos. Kind of decide exactly what you want to focus on and kind of try to stick with that. Otherwise, it's a bit scattered in that regard. You really want to try to focus as much as possible to help your channel grow. So you really need to think about that and figure that out, and before you can really get good advice on how to grow your channel. All right, gonna hop in the chat here. And definitely, as I pass some of these channels, definitely share your thoughts about what you think these channels could be doing. Trying to scroll back. All right, I see the admins holding down the fort in here. Real Estate Whisperer, Pick Monkey for arts and thumbnails. All right, Pick Monkey again. Thanks for all the suggestions from Andy's random videos. Thank you for watching the stream. Dirty Shoes asks, how do people get away with using copyrighted images on their thumbnails? Or can you just can't monetize that particular video? I mean, I think in some cases it depends on exactly how you're using them. But yeah, if you're kind of just misrepresenting somebody else's content, that can be a problem. But like if you're doing a review on a product, I mean, certainly the owner of any given copyrighted material can always request and make you take it down. But I guess it really depends on how it is you're using it. Yep, Mansion made an appearance. Smiling Smiles. Thank you. Going off to lunch. Awesome. Thanks for joining the stream. All right. It's got some back. Michael unleashed Dan, be more critical to people. You're not going to hurt their feelings. Speak the truth. Sometimes it's just so confusing on a channel that the thing you really need to understand, if somebody who is trying to like going out of their way to understand your channel can't understand it, then somebody who just casually happens upon it is not going to be able to make that connection between what it is that you're actually trying to present to them, and they're just going to leave. If it's that confusing to figure out what you're doing, then you're going to have a hard time growing. I think I just saw something about a strike, which I think... Oh no, Kevin, I'm not through all of them yet. I just try to take a break every once in a while to see what's going on in the chat, or else it would be way too long. All right. I missed a couple here. And then we're going to jump back into some reviews. Clashing by Havoc. What's up, Dan? What's up? Clashing by Havoc. Good to see you. And you know, Clashing by Havoc, I see him on Discord often. For you guys, did I have... Let's see if that's the right one. Did that work? Perfect. So I just gave an invite to the Creative Fundamentals Discord. If you guys haven't joined that, definitely jump in there and do that as well. Usually go in there for a hangout after the live stream concludes here. So definitely follow that link and join the Discord so you can take advantage of that as well. There's also a special room for patrons. All right, let me pull up the next ones here. That one was done. That one was done. That one was done. That one was done. That was done. And that one was done. All right. So, okay. All right. Let's jump into some more of these. Definitely have a lot to go here. So, let me try to burn through some more. Divine Dakini. All right, so I see some kind of bejeweled box in the background here. I see an icon of a person. So I don't know if Divine Dakini is an actual individual. And what is going on the channel? Let's see what we can find out in the About section. I'm Debbie. I'm a Dakini and I don't know what that means. Life is a treasure. Join me for blissful, beautiful living, mind, body, and soul. The path is inwards. Cosmic journey, wild ride, physical, metaphysical. Okay. I would probably try to incorporate, you know, this concept, the mind, body, soul concept, into your actual channel art. Thank you to, is it Roblox Kid 2018 for subscribing to the channel. But I would try to incorporate this whole concept of mind, body, soul that you're focusing on here into your channel art and kind of convey that message to the people who would be checking out your channel. And you have some specialized content here. You have, stop that. You're using consistent coloring in your channel or in your thumbnails. I would maybe try to pull in some of that orange into your channel art as well when you're trying to identify exactly what you got going on up here. And even if you're able to do that on your icon as well. Here, I would get rid of this web reference here and change that to a subscribe link. And I would obviously, let's see what the frequency is of your videos, 6 days, a week, 3 weeks. Try to be more consistent if you're going to do it a video a week. Looks like you skipped a week in there. Consistency is definitely important in growing your channel. So you want to try to find a schedule that you can stick to and go forward with that. So that would be my suggestion there. All right, so the next one up is I Just Game. Channel art, Hello World. Now, if I saw a channel art that said Hello World is, to me, is more synonymous with coding than it is with gaming. For those of you who don't know, who have never taken a programming class or whatever, Hello World is typically the first program you write in a number of different languages. It's just a very commonly well-known output script you can write in a number of different languages just to do your first successful program or coding. I don't know if it has specific relation to any game that's reused that, but I would definitely consider getting a little more involved in your channel art and explaining exactly what you're going to do on your channel. I'm Ty Holmes. Welcome to my channel. Average gamer, hoping to bring cool content to the gaming world of YouTube. So I would definitely consider more of a focus than I'm another gamer on YouTube. Just because there's so many gamers on YouTube, you really need to identify how you're different to encourage people to want to subscribe to your channel. And did this literally just change while I was looking at it? All right, then. I think he just actively changed the channel art while I was looking at the channel. Interesting. Still, I would go with channel art that identifies exactly what your channel is all about. And go from there. Now, looking at your videos. It's hard to give a feel on your whole branding concept. I see you're using some consistent text here. I don't know if this is you. This doesn't look like the person here, so I'm not sure what's going on in that regard. And I see yeah, see, I mean, online epic rage. You got Andy in here from Toy Story and the Screaming Guy. No idea what's going on with these thumbnails or what kind of message you're trying to deliver there. Funny epic rage, and make sure to subscribe. Yeah, and things like this, I would focus on writing more detailed descriptions than asking people to subscribe in the description of your videos like that. And again, you really need to find some consistency in terms of how all your thumbnails relate to each other and your icon and your channel art. So I would focus on trying to get all that in line. All right, next up we have, is it Deborah Giro? Number of different ways we could go with that. First thing I noticed on your channel art, well, a couple things. You got this dark area here, makes it difficult to read your text in the middle, so you might want to do either an outline of that or a lighter drop shadow or some way to make sure that the font in the middle of this is easy to read. Also, a lot makeup tutorials, no idea what GRWM means. Based on looking at this, I imagine it means get ready with me, but I would then say that it's redundant to do this followed by this. I would really try to eliminate some of the text here and kind of streamline that a bit. Also, I would just change you're on your channel with the name, so instead of having the text here say name, I would do something like subscribe to my channel, or please subscribe, or subscribe now. Rather than restating the name of the channel, I would probably drop all of the extra icons so people can focus on your YouTube channel. Plus, you got your face in your thumbnails. Whatever's going on here, way too much text, way too small, can't read it. Same thing here, way too small text, nobody will ever be able to read. Text is way too small as well. You don't want to use really intricate style fonts because they're harder to read when they're small. Try to find somebody or something that's high contrast against your background, that's blocky and easy to read, and use a quarter of that text. You don't want to reproduce what you have going on in your title, and you should never have more text on your thumbnail than is in your title. So you definitely want to work on that as well. Obviously, you're part of your brand. We're doing makeup tutorials. That seems consistent with what you have going on in here. But yeah, definitely want to lose a lot of that text. And then you want to, as you continue to build content and create playlists, you want to be able to list all that content out in horizontal playlist form. All right, next one up is Uncle Sam's Devil Tactical Gaming. So that's pretty straightforward. You have that there. I get the idea that you're calling it Uncle Sam's Devil up here, and you have kind of a vicious looking Uncle Sam here. But then my question is, if you have this style, how does it relate to what you have going on in your channel art? They're kind of same name, but two different ways to approach that imagery of Uncle Sam's devil. So, I mean, I kind of like this. Looks like a bloodied up Uncle Sam zombie looking thing going on here. You know, you may want to consider using that as part of your channel art and explaining what you got going on. Also on your videos, if we look at your videos, red against a dark background gets muddy when you make it smaller. So it's kind of hard to view in that respect. If you're going to try to use red, couple things. You need to have something. I found red is a hard font color to use in general because it doesn't quite pop the way you would want it to. I have found that using white with a red background works really well. But not only are you using red on the varying color background, but it's also in a font that's kind of difficult to read. So when that gets smaller, it's hard to see. Down here, you have the issue with the text disappearing behind the timestamp, so you definitely want to clean that up as well. This is a much better font choice, but again, that red makes it kind of a challenge. So you can see here how the white just pops a lot more. It's a lot easier to see, although you still have the problem with the timestamp, so you want to get those cleaned up and moved out of the lower right-hand corner. And then you want to find some consistency with the way in which you identify Uncle Sam's devil and the branding on your thumbnails. I mean, I think it would look pretty cool if it was Uncle Sam's devil. You had this guy off to the side here. Tactical gaming, maybe an indication of how often you're posting content. Gaming channel, Marine Turned Gamer. Thank you for your service. Tactical gaming. Thanks for being here. Greatly. Okay. I love tactical gaming. So you're pretty much just focused on tactical gaming, which is all right. But yeah, otherwise I would definitely focus on the branding elements there and getting your content as you continue to increase your content, building out playlists and getting that all listed out on your front page as well. Pucatico. All right, artisan soaps. Very straightforward. The only challenge with the way that you've done this channel art is you can't read this on mobile. On mobile, you're going to lose all of the information on your channel art that actually explains what it is that your channel is about. You're going to end up with "and so" if you're lucky. Obviously, I see that you're probably doing these artisan soaps, and you probably sell them on Etsy. So perhaps your goal of your YouTube channel is to drive traffic to your Etsy site. But I would consider trying to, well, for one, you need to figure out a way to get this information in this center area here. I would probably not use all this space for your logo that doesn't really communicate to the people on YouTube what it is that you're actually doing, and get the artisan soaps in that space. You know, maybe, you know, if it starts out Pucatico, artisan soaps, maybe the icon off to the side, and maybe your website below that if you want to. But you really got to get all this stuff to fit, probably from like right around here to around here somewhere. Pull it up on the mobile app and you'll see exactly what I mean. Let me take a look at your actual thumbnails. So I can see, I mean, based on your icon here and your thumbnails, you're definitely somebody who appears in your videos. So I can see value in you trying to include yourself consistently in your thumbnails and trying to extend that branding to your channel art, which means it may help you to include an image of yourself in your channel art as well. Also on your thumbnails, way too much going on for people to really process what it is you're trying to communicate. Text like this is hard to read, way too much text down here. I would focus, if your focus is on the artisan soaps, I would get a nice clear close-up picture of whatever it is that you are presenting in that particular video. Maybe try to get an image of yourself on there as well, and try to deliver a single message with your thumbnail. Again, this way too much text, and it's dipping into the lower right hand corner, which we want to try not to do. So, about section, new business, Pukatiga Artisan Soap. So again, you have a new business here. I would just try to lock down the whole branding that you got going on with all that, and focus on how to relate all your content to each other here. Next up, we have Square One BTS, Square One behind the scenes. Don't really know what that means. Definitely consistent in the branding of the channel, which is good. I see the orange and the square is consistent here. I think you can clearly identify that these thumbnails all go together. The one thing I would say is if you're gonna go something like Square One BTS, you can do the full Square One behind the scenes up here, but I think the Square One behind the scenes, all that becomes kind of hard to read at that size. You know, so maybe you find a way to truncate that a bit for the purpose of your icon. You know, whether that means like a BTS inside your square. You know, some way to develop that logo that identifies your brand uniquely from other people who may have a square in their design. And it's actually readable or legible at this size. So, I mean, it seems based on what I'm looking here that you're doing animation. Oh, that's not what I wanted, but we'll take a peek. So it's a brand new channel. So that's, I mean, you got good start on branding for a brand new channel. I wanted to check the about section. A behind the scenes look at creating and running a YouTube animation channel, Square One Animations. So you obviously have another channel called Square One Animations. And let me go take a peek here and see what the other channel looks like. So it's basically what I'm assuming is going to be your primary channel with actual animations, and then you're showing. So, I mean, one of the things that I would consider, especially with a channel that is obviously brand new, I would focus on trying to grow one channel first, and then after, you know, after developing the channel, then worry about trying to do, you know, the behind the scenes stuff or whatever that is. Just because it can become a bit of a challenge to run two separate YouTube channels. I mean, if it's something that just develops naturally because you're just going to record your process the entire time, that may work, but really trying to focus the effort you need on two separate channels to get them to grow can be kind of a burden, especially if you're doing animation. I know that animation can be very time consuming, so just something to consider, maybe focusing on your primary channel and growing it a certain degree before you start to do or try to focus some effort on a behind the scenes channel. All right, next channel up. I apologize if I mispronounced this. I said Scott Herveau, photography, art, and more. Photography and art, tips and DIY, reviews, and travel. So first thing here is I would get rid of all this social media out of your channel art and just focus on YouTube, on your YouTube channel for now. I would also remove all of these links, these external links, and focus this on driving more subscribers to your YouTube channel. After you've been able to grow here for a little while, then you can kind of spread out to other social media, but kind of focus all your effort on getting your channel to grow can really help you in that regard. So I see here you have your horizontal playlists, which are good. You have descriptions in there. That looks good. A variety of content. So we got photography, tips and do-it-yourself, gear, music videos, live performance, all kinds of stuff on this channel. See what your about section says. So official video blog channel. Okay. So this is basically just about you and anything you want to cover kind of deal. Channel shares tech, photography, arts, and tips. Places I've explored. So what I would suggest on this channel is if your goal is to grow, and this may be a recent change that you made, but let me look at your content to see. Like you said that you're relying on your viewers for support, etc. I would, if you're going to be in a position where you're asking or basically alluding to the fact that you're asking for support from your subscribers, then you really need to think about the content that you're providing in terms of what your viewers want to see. To that end, you don't want to necessarily make a YouTube channel where you post a video about whatever it is that you want to post, and really try to focus in on a niche that actually delivers value to a specific audience. So in this case, we look at your last couple videos. Testing inks, new YouTuber in the family, creative process. Yeah, I mean, I see some of these are good. They're like photography related, how-to kind of helpful videos, and then some others kind of diverge from that and get a little random with the focus of the video, which I think will cause you to kind of lose some of your audience or not offer value to somebody who may have subscribed to your channel when you were doing a how-to photography video, and then they come back and they find videos about other stuff that's not related to photography. So that is something to consider, that you want to be able to deliver value and focused content to the people that are checking out your channel. All right, I'm gonna hop in chat real quick. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 more channels to go after this. We're making progress. All right. Just gonna scroll up and try. Good night, DJ Scrap and a Rooster. Good to see you. It's starting to get late for some folks. Car Galaxy Studios heading out. No problem to Uncle Sam's Devil. So Scott asks, wouldn't it be redundant to put a subscribe button in the links section when it's right above the other subscribe button? And the word on the street on that is that for whatever reason, adding that additional subscribe link actually has a noticeable impact. I know it sounds weird, and it's not necessarily, doesn't necessarily make sense. But apparently human behavior, for whatever reason, has proven that helps you convert more subscribers. I mean, the reality is there's 100 different places that people can subscribe on your channel, but there's certain places that they tend to flock to. For, you know, perhaps somebody else can explain exactly how that all works and why. But the goal of that is keep people focused on YouTube. You know, if you have like 4 different bills that you want to pay and you just pay minimums on them, you know, for the next 10 years, you're probably not going to pay them all off. But if you focus on one of them and you put everything you can on that one, for any of you guys who are Dave Ramsey followers, that's the same kind of concept with a debt snowball, which is basically to focus all your energy on one thing first and take care of it. And that's kind of the philosophy about growing on YouTube. Instead of sending people off in all different directions, you know, maybe every 5th person clicks on your Instagram link and maybe every 10th person goes to check you out on Twitter. When you're trying to grow a YouTube channel, you want to keep everybody focused on YouTube and your content on YouTube, and you get rewarded by YouTube by keeping people on YouTube as long as possible. So when you have long watch time on your channel and you have long session times that originate from your channel, YouTube notices that, and it's going to help you get your channel promoted in the future. All right, so let me find where I left off here, and we'll try to motor through. Did that one. All right. All right, just taking a quick peek here. All right, so this next channel is Scramuel. I don't really know what's going on this channel, and there's not a whole lot of clues as to what the intention is. I don't know if this is original artwork that we have up here, but I'm not really sure what it's representing. It's different style and colors than the icon. And then we look at the videos, and top 15 Burger King foot lettuce conspiracies. I don't know what that means. A tragic short film. Video about Dog the Bounty Hunter. A channel trailer that looks like I'm not sure what's going on there. Yeah, I think that since 100 subscriber, don't really know what the focus is here. I don't know if these are all like skits and shorts and that kind of stuff. But I would kind of give some thought into what you're trying to make content about. I tried looking here at the about section, and it was 17 years of growing fingernails, and I've got nothing to show for it because I clip them every other week. So hard to give you direction. I'm not really sure what your goal is, but all the same things apply. Consistency in theme, explaining to people what it is that you're trying to do for them and deliver that value and convey to people exactly what why they would consider subscribing to your channel. Yeah, I mean, it just looks like short, funny videos and that kind of things. But I would try to identify or clarify with people exactly what you're going to be making content on. All right, next up, Dirty Shoes Adventures. Now, I know I looked at this channel recently. I see that there's been some work done on the channel art. We have what I assume are the stars of Dirty Shoe Adventures here in the water, next to what may appear to be a floating sneaker. And again, let's see, road trip, fishing trip, camping trip, hiking, it's all an adventure. So basically doing outdoor adventures. Dirty Shoes Adventures is kind of the branding we have going on here. And Brandon and Nikki. Take a look at your thumbnails here. Your recent thumbnails, I would try to get this font a little bit bigger. It's a little bit too small to read. And wherever possible, try to reduce it as much as you can. I can see here you're using that image as kind of your branding. So what I would try to do here is, as you can see, the difference between this versus this is, and the purpose of using yourself in your thumbnails is so people can identify your faces and recognize you by your videos to associate you with your channel. So when it gets really small like this, it makes it a little bit harder to do that. So I might try to play around with that a little bit more and see how you guys can work on that. I mean, I would almost consider possibly doing Dirty Shoes Adventures. Yeah, I would probably try to develop that a little bit more so it's more identifiable when it's small. The other thing, I don't know why you've chosen to hide your subscriber count, but a lot of smaller channels sometimes try to do that. And I don't know that it really offers any value. I think you have a better shot of exposing your subscriber count and finding other channels that are the same size as yours, you know, to build those relationships and get some support out there and kind of grow your channels together. I'd probably also get rid of all the extra links up here and just put that kind of stuff in your about section. Yeah, I mean, like videos like this, you probably don't have to repeat your icon. You want to keep everything out of that lower right-hand corner. That's kind of like a dead zone on a thumbnail because of that timestamp. So, but this is definitely moving in the right direction and getting that whole Dirty Shoe Adventure kind of thing. I would probably try to find the same picture or a similar picture to get your icon and your channel art kind of visually associated with each other. Next one up is The Wombat Says. Not sure what this channel is about yet based on its channel art. Dave Wilcutt likens himself to a wombat. So I would say, so you say that you're making clips for your wife's enjoyment here. And it's also therapeutic. I would kind of try to identify the focus of the type of videos that you're making. Like what the content is, or what, I assume they're humorous in nature. It does look like you appear in all of your videos. I would also consider doing actual custom thumbnails versus just the still images out of your videos. And maybe giving some context, maybe with a little bit of text in terms of what you're actually conveying. Because you got to think, when somebody's scrolling through and they come across one of these thumbnails, how you're going to encourage them to want to click on that and see what you actually have going on there. So you got a variety, like videos, wombat treads. You want to also get the playlist that you've created spread out here. Again, with the horizontal playlists are my personal preference on getting content displayed, just because it delivers the most impactful view of your thumbnails and titles, in my opinion. We already covered that. Just want to see how long you've been closing in on 10,000. Yeah, so again, I mean, the other thing that I noticed is you have, it's like this image is different from this image. I would try to tie them all together and be consistent in that regard. And, you know, so, you know, just because I assume they're both wombats, they're not the same one. Some from a branding perspective, they don't really tie to each other that well. That's something to consider in that regard. Let's see what we got next. The Fantastic Joe Show. Fantastic Joe is doing bands, reviews, and shenanigans, according to the channel art. New videos drop Sundays and Wednesdays. For the most part, looks pretty good. I'm trying to see if this is a little, almost seems like this is off to the right a little bit. So my only concern would be whether or not this displays properly on this end on mobile. So definitely check out your channel on the mobile app and make sure that all looks good. And let's take a look at your videos, see what you got going on here. So the one thing that I would notice here is you have a very specific way in which you're displaying your text here with this kind of these red bands behind your font. I think it would be cool to, for consistency's sake, to pull in that style in your channel art. Actually use those red, you know, they almost look like paint strokes, the red paint strokes, and use the white text and the yellow text up here to kind of tie this into what you're doing in your channel, in your actual thumbnails. And you can actually pull that across here and get all this information presented much in the same way you're doing in your thumbnails. Because I do think your thumbnails are high contrast with that color scheme that you have going on. They're easy to read. Text isn't too overwhelming there. And I think it would be cool to tie that in with the black background, to have those red stripes with those same color schemes up here. And hop over to the home page. Stop that. Got everything lined out. The one thing I would suggest, let's see, you got that going on. Make sure your descriptions are all filled out. Looking good there. So we got local bands, uploads. I probably wouldn't do popular uploads and uploads. I would pick one of those two and try to get some of the playlists that you created up there in place of those. And this is another thing, and this is a really common thing that a lot of channels do. Like you're focused on doing band videos, and then an opportunity arises and you present a video about TubeBuddy, which is kind of way off the content that you're making. And I know that it's, and again, it's, I don't know if you signed up as an affiliate with them or what the motivation was to do a TubeBuddy video. And you also have one here for Taco Bell. But that kind of stretches your focus off into an odd direction a little bit, and it kind of dilutes the content and may cause some of your subscribers to go, hey, I signed up for band videos and you're giving me stuff about YouTube software and fast food. So just something to consider, because that can kind of slow down your growth. If subscribers feel like they aren't getting the type of content they signed up for, it may cause them to unsubscribe from your channel. All right. Gonna hop back in the chat here real quick. We're almost done. I think we're down to the last handful after this, but I just want to see what's going on in the good old chat. I know it's been a long live stream and everybody's been hanging out, and I appreciate it, so I don't want to just leave you out there. Playlist. So Ron Purdy, if you go to my website, which is creatorfundamentals.com, there is actually a channel art template that you can download from there. It's not one that I created, but it's a popular one that people pull off the internet, so I threw it up there so I could give people a place to find it easy. But if you go to creatorfundamentals.com and you click on the tools menu, there will be an option to download that. And then if you want to use something like GIMP to do your channel art, or Photoshop, you can drop that into those programs, and that can be a guide to show you exactly where to place stuff to get it to all fit the way it's supposed to in the channel art area on YouTube. So not sure exactly what you're using to do your channel art, but between that template and using a free software like GIMP, or if you have Photoshop, you can use that as well. The template will get you into the right placement of where you need to put everything. Dirty Shoes Ventures, thank you for the review. It helps a lot. Awesome. I'm glad you came to the live stream tonight. Scrolling back up, just don't want to miss anybody here. Thank you everybody for coming to the stream. I see some names I didn't see earlier. Text, Vlogs, Blogs, and Dogs. Good to see you. Aquarium Lover. I'm not sure if I said hello to your real estate whisperer previously. I think I did. But if not, I am definitely saying hello now. Broken Sprocket. Good day, mate. Jammy Toast. Warriors of Mandalore. Saracen. Michael Unleashed. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So we are closing in on the final few channel reviews. I am going to get the next one queued up here. Make sure we are ready to go. All right, so let's hop into the next one is Omo George. All right, excuse me, Omo George. So we got kind of a headshot up here, a side view of a headshot here. So I'm assuming the video is about this particular person. Let's take a look at the about section and see what's going on. Hi. Suddenly have a incredibly dry throat, but we're going to push through. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be talking about makeup, fashion, and lifestyle. All right, so first things first here. Oh, is this like Bizarro World, or is this another case where the channel art changed while after I clicked on the About section? Tell me if I'm going crazy, because this is the second video or the second channel that's happened on, or it was just a face in the middle, and I clicked on the About section, and suddenly it was different channel art. In any event, it's good to see people are actively working on their channels while we're doing channel reviews. But what I would consider doing, if your About section, you're identifying that you're doing a channel about makeup, fashion, and lifestyle, then I would definitely want to include that in your channel art and explain to people that that's what they should expect when they come here. Again, my personal preference is not to hide your subscriber count. Whatever your subscriber count is, whether it's 1 or 5 or 100, be proud of the progress that you made. YouTube is not easy. And reach out to other people the similar size and doing the type of stuff that you're doing, and find collaborations to work with. But I don't really see any helpful reasons to hide your subscriber count. All right, so coming down here, we'll take a look at your videos real quick. We definitely have your face as the theme of your channel. Again, the reds on the dark color backgrounds are kind of rough. Red as a general color can be kind of a challenge to use. Here, the font is way too small. There's way too much of it, so you want to find a way to pull out the most important parts of what you're trying to say and make that text much bigger and easier to read. Again, text is too small, way too much of it. Try to reduce that and make the text bigger. And then kind of go, let's see. Seems like your more recent thumbnails seem a little different. So I would stay with the kind of theme. Make sure you have a close-up of your face in your thumbnails. And if you're working on a product, try to clearly identify the product in the thumbnail as well. And that's how I would approach some changes on your channel. Life addiction recovery. Let's see what we got going on here. Interviews, self-help, podcast testimonials from real people who suffer from addiction and the families of the addict. Also, we'll be having some professionals who work in the field of addiction. Okay. First thing on your channel art here, get rid of the, I would turn this to a subscribe link. I would get rid of the references to other social media, and I would try to get something a little higher contrast. Maybe either go with white text here so it stands out from your dark background, or try to find a way to get that separated from what you got going on in the back. It's way to have the dark on dark makes it kind of difficult to read and doesn't really help the whole thing pop. Let's look at your actual videos, see what we have. So far we have one video from 3 weeks ago, so you definitely need to get a little more consistent on making content and get focused on it in that regard. So the other thing I would say is I'm not really sure how this icon relates to what you're trying to do up here, or really what the focus is or the concept of the fire in relation to recovery. And also, if you're focused on addiction recovery, I'm not sure how the skeleton head is a positive message in that regard, but I don't know if this skeleton has some special meaning, but that would be also something I would consider. But again, your biggest focus right now should be on making content. Art Stew. So I would, in this particular case, I wouldn't put the subscribe button in your channel art. I would remove the social media links here. It's also difficult to actually see to see what the lettering is behind these anyway. You're not taking advantage of any of your channel links, so you could definitely do that way. You have a good consistent channel or thumbnail style, but it seems completely detached from what you're doing in your channel art and your icon. So I don't know if your channel art and your icon are new developments, but the other thing that I would notice is that your icon looks like you're wearing a hat, whereas you're not up here. And it may be difficult looking at a small icon to associate, to recognize that you are the same person as up here in your channel art. So I may consider using the same face cutout from your channel art in here, or at least one without a hat on, so people could clearly identify you. Although I do see in all of your, or in many of your thumbnails, you're wearing a hat. So if that's your style and something you do on a regular basis, a la Roberto Blake, who's kind of, you know, part of his branding is the hat that he wears. That's something you could definitely consider and get a version of you in your channel art that relates to that. So taking a look real quick at William, creating entertainment for myself and people. So if you're doing like film or like shorts and skits and sketches and those kind of things, instead of having the subscribe button here and your social media links, I would put some kind of subtext here that says exactly what type of content you plan on making. And again, with the idea of explaining to people why they should care about your channel and what it is they should be subscribing to your channel for. Taking a look at your playlist, see how many, so we're still working on creating some content here. Well, I only see 7 videos in playlists. How many videos have you done so far? So you've done quite a few videos and you don't have them in playlist. I would start to get all those organized in playlists and get those playlists displayed on your channel. Right now you just have that single list of uploads. When you go to your channel, logged in as you, down below here, you'll have a little button that says add a section. Click on that add section, get some horizontal playlists listed. You can add up to 10 sections. I definitely get that filled out as much as possible. You may have to add a bunch of your videos to new playlists to be able to do that, to have enough playlists to list, but that would definitely be something I would do to get more of your content visible and exposed on your main page there. All right. So let's jump in the old chat and see how we're doing. That, my friends, was 26 channel reviews in a single night for anybody who's keeping score. All right, so for anybody who joined the live stream late, I just want to mention one more time that this live stream has been sponsored by TubeBuddy. For those of you who do not know, TubeBuddy is the #1 browser plugin for managing and growing your YouTube channel. It's available to download for free, and there's a link in the description below, and I'll also throw a link to it in the chat. If you haven't used TubeBuddy, I highly recommend you download it for free and check it out and see how it can help you grow your channel. And hey, one of the things we started, I believe it was last live stream or 2 live streams ago, is the after party hangout on Discord. I'm going to throw a link in the live chat to the Discord. Definitely click on that. Come over and stop by and hang out with us for a little while on the Creator Fundamentals Discord. A little more casual over there. And you can ask questions. There's a couple different channels to talk in. But definitely follow that link. Join the after live stream or after party, live stream after party. And say hello and let the party continue. It's getting late over here. We're going to wrap this stream up tonight. I appreciate everybody coming to hang out. I hope to see you next Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, and every Wednesday here on Creator Fundamentals. If you're not subscribed to the channel, definitely click that subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you will receive future notifications on videos that help simplify YouTube. You guys have been awesome for hanging out with me tonight. Some of you have been here for the entire stretch, which I truly appreciate it. And I'll probably transition off of the TubeBuddy screen so I can say proper good evenings to everybody. I am going to head over to the Discord now. Definitely follow the link in the chat. I hope to see some of you hop over there and say hello. And everybody have a good night.